Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, another edition of the OSC Season 12 Championship Upper Bracket Round 1. I'm, of course, your live VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in the chat, by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all, to the beginning of the end. Of course, we were covering the OSC qualifiers or the challenger brackets over the past couple of weeks. They have since concluded. Now we are here to begin the main event. Oh boy, oh my god, again, the event is stacked, the event is insane. We have a massive bracket coming up ahead of us, and we are here to kick things off. Now, as a reminder, this is a replay cast. These events, or these matches were played ahead of time. The matches were then submitted, and then we are here to cover them all. As again, when it comes to the matches themselves, there's a lot of matches. So instead of having them played out live, they're all played out ahead of time and then submitted to Eddie. Eddie, of course, he is the organizer, he is the admin, he's the owner of OSC, and then we have the replays for you tonight. Let's go. Let us go. We can switch our teams over here and catch up on the matches ahead of us. We have 4 best of 5s. We have 4 best of 5s here. Again, best of 5. Bear that in mind. That's crazy. This is going to be some long series. I mean, potentially, as we have our lineup here ahead of us, we have our initial TVP. We kick things off with Cure versus Creator in that Terran versus Protoss. We have Hornwarner versus Shameless in another TVP, followed by Wayne versus Classic and Young Yakov versus SKillous. Oh my god. I always enjoy seeing the foreigners go up against the Koreans, especially considering how informed some of these players are. Players like Wayne, players like Young Yakov, and players like SKillous as well. So I do look forward to seeing them all face off against each other. Likewise, I haven't casted Hornwarner in SC2 in quite some time, so I'm curious to see how he compares to Shameless in that second series. And of course, we have the banger of the TVP ahead of us here with Cure versus Creator. We've been casting a lot of TVPs out as of late. I mean, again, I'm still recalling yesterday with the Lima League, for example, we cast like, what, 6 TVPs? it was crazy. Unironically, 6 TVPs in one tournament. It was just insane, the amount of Terran Protosses that we did cast over the past couple of days, but it continues. At least only for a little bit longer. Just 2 more. Jeez. So these are the best of 5s ahead of us. We do have day 2's broadcast tomorrow as well. So we have day 1 today. We have day 2 tomorrow as well. We are catching up with the OSC Season 12 Championship. Also, to quickly go over, you may be wondering, what is the Season Championship? What is going on? Well, the event... Well, the event is, of course, the final, or I should say, it's kind of like the championship, the World Championship of online tournaments here, of online events. Oh, as, we go. Okay. As we are going to be settling in, and we're going to be getting ready for our first series. But yes, this is the end of year championship for online tournaments. Throughout the course of the year, throughout the course of 2024, all these online events have been handing out points, of course. Players have been accumulating points over the course of the year, and it has all led into this end of year finals. I mean, sure, we're technically we're in 2025, but we're still in January. This is all for the year of 2024, and we're here to find out the best player of online events. Let's go, Papi, let's go. Because of that, there are certain players that are missing. For example, players like Maru, players like Several, players like Rainer. They don't really compete too often or at all in online tournaments, so they won't be a part of this. But we have the heavy hitters like Björn, like Dark, like Max Pax, like Hero, Solar as well, and many others, all facing off in this tournament. For now, though, we are going to be diving in, and we have our first series of the night. We're going to be jumping into Cure versus Creator in the TVP. Let's go. Let us go. Game 1 is going to be on King's Cove. Also, hello in the chat. I see Schnitzel. I see Mr. Schnitzel in the chat. MW as well. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo están? As here we go, we are diving into our first best of 5, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of King's Cove, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing himself. It is Creator. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player, the red Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. we go. The TVPs, they don't stop. They never stop. Hi. So many TVPs this week. So many. And they're not gonna stop. It's fine. But for the most part, I'm excited. I'm excited here to see how these two compare. For those that are curious, Cure did face off against Hero yesterday in a Lima League. They did face off in the grand finals. It was a banger of an event of a best of 5, and we'll see how he compares to Creator. Likewise, Creator also competed in Lima League, but if you recall, Creator, he went up against Hero. He went up against Hero in a PvP instead, so now we're able to see the prowess of Creator's Protoss versus Terran instead. For now, he's going to be scouting. He does check for proxy locations here at the third base location before moving out across the map. Does check the high ground location as well to make sure there is no shenanigans going on from the side of Cure before scouting across the map. Here we go. As the probe does move out, likewise, Creator back at home, just going for his own setup here, just gate into Cybercore into expansion, and welcome one and all to King's Cove. King's Cove, of course, is one of the, I would say, larger maps. One of the larger maps in the map pool here, very defendable on 3 bases as well. The rush distance by ground is quite long, so because that aggression is going to be delayed, or it is going to be hindered on a map like King's Cove, not impossible to pull off, but again, the map does work against you when being hyper aggressive here. So we could see the mid game, we could see our players just settle in, calm things down in game 1, and embrace a longer later game, and kind of test the waters here, test each other out before really embracing any more insane, intense, aggressive shenanigans in the rest of the series. We shall see. Likewise, economic opener. Ranks a single gas into an expansion here from Cure, so economic opener from our Terran player. Likewise, standard opener out of Creator, and we're getting to our tech of choice. I wouldn't be opposed to a Stargate opener here on King's Cove, but Creator, he usually has a certain style that he does enjoy, and he's very much so Twilight Council centric and Twilight Council focused. So we'll see if he does deviate or if he goes for a Twilight Council once again. Speaking of, yep, there it is. Twilight Council on the way for Creator, working towards a blink. Reaper dips in and is going to be zoned away. Creator is able to maintain himself. Now with this, it should be a blink based opener. Technically, there are some niche builds where you go into like a DT based opener or charge into an all-in, for example. Those are technically they exist as builds. Ooh, as one probe goes down, the Reaper gets punished though, and oh no, doesn't quite fall, does get away in time. Whew. Clutch moves there out of Cure, does escape. So he gets a scout, gets a probe, does get away. Did he scout though? Actually, no, he did not. He did not get eyes on the tech, not yet. So Cure is still in the dark, but did get a worker kill as it does rotate around, and we'll see how many gateways Creator does throw down. I'm expecting something like a 3-gate safe opener into a third base, but because of the size of King's Cove, it is very much so viable and relatively safe to just go 2-gate blink into a third. Meanwhile, back at home, Cure getting to his own 1-1-1 setup here. Widowmine production has begun. Looks like he's getting ready for a Widowmine drop, as he is securing himself back at home. Meanwhile, we have the gateway count. 2 more gates on the way. It's going to be 3-gate blink. 3-gate blink stalkers out of Creator, so it is very safe play from the Protoss. He could have tried to have gone for a faster third, but he's going to be delaying his third base in favor of just a more secure setup here. Extra gateways, extra stalkers, just to make sure he doesn't sustain too many losses. As Hellion does move out. Does move out towards the natural. So far, Creator, he is keeping up. Likewise, Q moving out with his own Widowmine drop, as you did mention. 2 Widowmines, medevac. The goal here is mainly for scouting information. He doesn't really look to get any economic damage. Just scouting more than anything. And here comes the third base of Creator. Again, just 3-gate blink into the third. Safe play here by Creator. He has 4 stalkers in the natural. He's ready. And Cure, he has to be careful with how he commits. Heads towards the natural. Boosts in. And does commit. Does commit to the drop. Creator, he pulls away. Mine just going off. Getting 2 probes. But the Widowmines are going to be cleaned up. And Cure, he has to pull back. Likewise, Cure, he does get a scout. Who does create an opening. And Hellion dives into the mineral line. Doesn't get a worker, but does scout the Twilight Council. Ooh, sees that researching as well. I mean, is aware that Blink is already done, and this is not for Blink, it is for Charge. So Creator, instead of going Blink Stalker into a Robo, into a Bay, into Colossus, he's going Blink Stalker into a Gateway heavy composition with Charge lots. So Blink into Charge into delayed splash damage. We'll see if he can get away with it. Likewise, Kira back at home, just getting to his 3-rack setup. Raven harassed towards the third base. Likewise, no major forms of regression here. Should just be slowly getting ready for a third expansion once his upgrades finish up. For the time being, Kira's going to be stuck at home, waiting for upgrades like Stim, Combat Shields, +1. Observer confirms, nothing crazy going on. Raven slipping into the main. Oh. Gets a bird, gets 2. 2 more birds go down. Raven survives. Nice damage here by Cure. Nothing major, but just some nice damage nonetheless. On top of that, I believe the Raven saw the gateway explosion. He saw some of the gateways. Some extra gateways on the way. We do see more, of course. Still no extra gases here for Creator. Still early on 3. Does have the Robo getting into immortal production. And the Prism moves out. Now, the goal of this War Prism, I believe, should be for Zealot harass into the main. Ideally, you don't want to go in straight away. Ideally, you want to wait for Q to be active. Remember, there's an Observer here outside of the bases. The Observer does get eyes on the main army, and as he sees the move out, then Creator moves in. Okay, he does spot the main army. Here comes the Warp in. Ooh, Creator supply block. That's brutal. That's brutal. We have 2, 3 pylons on the way. This is insane. These mistakes should not be happening. That supply block is gonna actually really stifle this drop, this harass. Only 2 zealots. There should have been so much more. There should have been 4 zealots and then a warp in. 4 pylons on the way. Here he is pushing. Zealots, they don't really get much done. Again, there's only 2. There's the warp in. The warp in is denied. Yeah. Again, this drop had so much potential. It was so well timed. And now here comes Cure diving on in. The tanks are exposed. He gets 1. He gets both tanks. Nice force fields locking down the army. But does he have enough zealots? It looks like he does. Whew. Creator holds. Creator, he does hold, but he could have done so much more. Could have held and attacked. With that, Cure's main army does get shut down. Creator getting a 4th base. Now we can take a moment to breathe. Take a moment here. Getting into Colossus. Extendable Lance, +1. Players are settling in. Creator rotating over towards the natural. But now Cure, he knows that there's a prism that's going to be threatening him. There's a Widow Mine here tucked away in the main. 3rd base not being taken, we're headed towards a longer game state. As we mentioned, here on King's Cove, the mid-game and into a later game state is a little more common. A little more common here. As the drop does slip in. So they're going to be dropped off at least somewhat. The Raven does go down. Does snipe the Raven. Oh, Prism gets caught out. Massive pickup. Fury does send his army across the map. Oh, look to push in. Nice force fields here out of Creator. I mean, a good initial engage here, just slicing up the army in half. And a bunch of supply just doesn't really add much to the fight. Do we have more force fields though? The answer is no. Yeah, we're running out of force fields. And Curie stepping in, takes down the Zealots. Can he get on top of the Colossus? Not quite, but the Viking going ham. Viking does go down. Colossus doing what they can, but we're running out of buffer, running out of supports. Yeah, Curie stims in, he breaks through the defensive line, takes down the Immortals, the Colossus. He wants that final Colossus, he won't get it though. Won't quite get it. Creator, he barely holds on, takes down the Medivacs. Very nice pickups towards the end. Whew, and he holds. He barely holds on, but Cure, he has momentum on his side. Again, those are some brutal losses for Creator, and he needs more time. Does need more time as Curie just rallies everything across the map. Again, the rallies take a long time to get across. But the Colossus taking a lot of damage. Does survive. Oh no, the Viking. Viking dips in. Ooh, gets one more shot off. Doesn't quite get the Colossus. Creator, he's holding. He's barely holding on, saturating his 4th base. Behind this, second Robo's on the way. That should be for disruptors. And Creator survives. And I'll be honest, if this was on a smaller map, a map like Whistles of Gold, or Ley Lines, or Ultra Love as well, I think Creator gets broken. I think he gets broken then and there. But again, Cure, he just could not reinforce fast enough. Across map DT harass, Cure, he does keep up. He does maintain himself. 4 CC is thrown down. And now we're forced into a longer game state. We have Ghost production underway, Viking production as well. 2-2 has begun. Creator, he has yet to rebuild that War Prism. As Curie is looking for the Observer barely out of vision, out of range. Once again, these Zealot Rumbai is a little bit lackluster. Ideally, you do want to wait for the army to move out. And Cure is now expanding. It is now expanding, taking his 4th. So Creator trying to poke in, but Cure is establishing himself. Oh, Stalker's going for the medevac, they don't quite get it. Behind this, you do see Cure making 2 disruptors at a time. So Creator even is pumping out those disruptors. Shadow Stride on the way, let's go. Going for the DTs, calming things down, getting a 5th base, and we are headed towards a longer game state here. We made it, which again is what we expect on King's Cove. Ooh. So once again, medevac survives. We can see the Creator is set up for some run-bys. He has Zealots on the left, Zealots on the right. I believe some DTs are spread out as well. Yeah. Dark Templar just whirling out on the map. And it looks like we shouldn't really be seeing him move out until the army's maxed out. And both armies will max. When it comes to the overall compositions here, I think I am going to be favoring Creator. I mean, he has a lot of potential with these disruptors, with the Purification Novas. And Cure has yet to embrace Liberators. Not yet. Another CC on the way. Curie does finish a 2nd starport. With this, is making Massive Viking, but we should be seeing soon a Fusion Core, Lib Range, and Liberator production as well. We should soon be getting there, as Cure is maxing out. So now would be the time to tech. Here we go. Curie, he is pushing through the center. Behind this, Creator starts a Stargate. This should be for a fleet beacon and for a mothership. Creator is not there yet. As Curie pushes through the center, he is vulnerable here to these Zealot Rumbais. For the time being, we're focusing on the main armies. Oh, ooh, nice Nova. Takes out 2 ghosts. 2 ghosts go down. Oh, getting a Marauder. Massive EMP is going to be going off though. Oh my god, the Novas are pretty good. Yeah, they connect, they shut down the ghosts. Massive connections, but the Vikings are overwhelmed. The Vikings have taken down every single Colossus. Colossus do fall. And Creator is up against the wall here. The Novas have been good, but is it enough? It looks like it barely is. Saves 3 disruptors. Zealot DT Warpins do reinforce. And with that Creator hold, he shuts down the army. He takes down the medevacs. Full medevac as well. Oh my god. Creator, calm down. Takes down the medevac, shuts down the army. Fusion Core just now finishing up. Liberators are delayed. And Creator, he has momentum. He's chasing down Cure. Takes down medevac after medevac. Takes down 3 of them. There's 2 left. Going for the Marauders. Does reinforce. Novas are ready. And Cure, he's barely holding. I mean, he doesn't really have much left over. Yeah, going for the mineral lines, zoning away the main army. And this is what's left here for Cure. 0 medevacs, no ghosts, no way to mines. GG gets called, and Creator takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Creator does take a lead in the series here. And again, Cure, he took so many Novas to the face. Like, when it came to that final engagement, despite the MPs being good, the Novas were better. We saw, what, like 3 or 4 Novas connect? It was crazy to see them get juicy connections on the Bio army, on the Ghost army as well. With that, Cure, his army just crumbled, it just toppled over. And with that, Creator takes a lead. Here we go. So again, very nice unit control here out of Creator. And with that, I mean, I do think that a lot of this map, a lot of how King's Cove played out was also the size of the map as well. As we mentioned earlier, I do stand by saying that Kier, when it came to his first move out, he almost broke Creator then and there. Like, he almost broke him, he almost brought him down, but reinforcements took a long time to get across the map, and Creator was able to survive the early pushes to get into that longer game state where he thrived. Now we're getting into game number 2 and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ultra Love, leading the series 1-0. It is Creator. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player representing Team Liquid down in the series, but it's a best of 5. Plenty of games ahead of us. It is a Cure. Here we go. Right, like I should have gone for Libs. I mean, Cure, he was taking into Liberators at the end, but you could argue that his tech was late. I would say, though, it did feel like Cure got impatient. I was emphasizing the Novas connecting earlier when it came to the big fight, and we saw some big Nova connections, but a part of that, one, was Creator's unit control, true, when it came to the Purification Novas, but another part was kind of the almost, it was almost the movement here of Cure, the, again, the exasperation to dive in and to commit and to fight. And again, maybe Curie got a little bit too excited, maybe got a little bit too impatient, especially when you're pushing into an army with disruptors. You want to take it slow, because if you don't, then it's difficult to really push through a line of Novas, of those Purification Novas, and break through that. That's when mistakes can happen. That's when Novas can pop off. So maybe just some impatience out of Cure towards the end. And with that, GG. GG, well played. I think I understand where the impatience came from, though, because, again, it did feel like Cure almost broke Creator earlier, so he probably felt like, oh, like he was so close to killing Creator that he could pull it off with a second wave, and he should be able to break through, but, I mean, clearly that didn't happen, right? Clearly, you know, he got the better of himself there, and Creator takes the win. With that, we can settle into game number 2, and now we're going to be loading into a much smaller map. You know, winding it back here, King's Cove, much larger map in the map pool. It leads towards longer later game states, you know, the mid game, the late game. Here on Ultra Love, it is similar but different. What do I mean by that? The map is smaller. The map is smaller, so if we were to be aggressive, if Cure were to be committed like he was previously, he will hit harder, he will hit stronger, he will hit faster as well. The downside, of course, is that there's a lot of choke points. There's a lot of choke points here on Ultra Love. We have choke points coming to the third base locations. Likewise, very narrow bridges here towards the center, points of elevation as well, narrow ramps. It can be quite difficult if your opponent has a semblance of map presence and map control to break through these positions here and to actually engage with the main armies. With the main bases, I mean. So we do see that kind of dynamic here on Ultra Love, where yes, it is a small map, but at a certain point, once you get up to a 4-base saturation, once you get into some proper main armies and some map vision, map presence, map control, then we have like long games. We have like 40-minute games here on Ultra Love. Not uncommon to cut the map in half and to max out. Oh, hello. Creator. Welcome. As this time we have our tech of choice. As a reminder, okay, I was getting ahead of myself. Do you have another Twilight counter open now? Last game we saw a 3-gate blink. We saw 3-gate blink stalkers out of Creator going for a very safe build into a later third base. Here we're doing the same. 2-gate. Oh no, never mind. Let's go. Here we're doing something different. 3 gates on the way, 1 is already done. This is 4-gate blink stalker. This time Creator's being the aggressor, but the Cure, he scouts. He does see everything. Massive moment here for Cure. The Hellion should not have gone into the main. And Cure, he sees all the gateways. Sees the gateways here in the main, in the natural as well. Cure knows. Cure, he is aware. And I'm not so sure about this, as Cure, he is rallying across the map. Oh my god, he's going for his own aggressive build. He's rushing into Cyclones, rushing into a Liberator as well. Cure, he is pushing out. But considering the gateway count here of Creator, this I'm less certain of. The army gets spotted. Creator, he has to be active. Remember, these are vanilla Marines. No stim. No stim on these Marines. It's going to be on Creator to slow this down, to pick away at the Marine count already. He gets 1. 1 Marine goes down. 2 Marines go down. Good pickoffs already. Cure boosting in towards the main. Does boost past. More Stalkers are warping in. And Creator, he doesn't quite get eyes on this. Going for the mineral line. Probes are going to be going down. He gets 1. 2 workers do fall, and the medevac is going to be keeping Creator pinned in his main base. Creator, this build, he wanted to be aggressive, he wanted to move out across the map with his War Prism, but this drop is keeping supply at home. So this is delaying Creator. Likewise, again, remember, Cure, he saw everything he needed to back at home when he tanks. We have 1 tank in the natural, bunker as well, full wall off, here towards the main base. Oh, much more exposed. But there is a tank on the way. Again, Cure, he needs a couple of seconds for that tank. Tank production was delayed because of the cyclone. And the tank is about to pop. Ooh. Just in time. Creator, he pokes in. Tanks is within range. And again, if this had arrived, what, even 5 seconds sooner, potentially this tank goes down. And the big reason for this delay was the medevac, was the drop. So far, so good for Cure. Stalker drop towards the third, sorry, towards the natural, towards the mineral line. What I mean by third base is that Creator, he is taking a third back at home. As probes are going down, 4 probe kills on the lib, ay. Yeah, late reaction from Creator. Losing a Stalker as well. Okay. Cure, he's hunting for the prism. Doesn't find it. Whew. Doesn't come across it. Likewise, drop into the main. Waiting for the lock on. The Stalker is going to be focused down. There's the NG overcharge though. Medevac falls. Nice cleanup. Yeah, very nice cleanup here from a Creator. Shuts down the army. We'll lose 1, 2 probes in the process. Will be cleaned up. So Creator, he defends well. Likewise, poking in. Wants the bunker, he will get it. Bunker goes down. Doesn't lose any Stalkers. Nice moves here by Creator. He pulls away, getting his third base up and running. Going to be reinforcing across the map. Now that the medevac has been dealt with, Creator, he can focus on this push. He can focus on containing his opponent, I should say. As Creator, he should not be pushing into these bases. He should just be containing, poking in, shouldn't commit. Drop towards the main. Cure, he's breaking out. A little bit of miscontrol here by Creator, a little bit inattentive. 1 Stalker goes down, but he drops into the main. And will deny mining. Oh, he blinks in, he's crazy. Losing a Stalker, I don't think he quite expected the tank to be there. Likewise, Cure, he does want to push. Oh, catching a Stalker. 1 Stalker goes down. Cure dropping in towards the main. And the Creator not quite in position. He does rotate, but he misses the medevacs. Yeah, he barely does miss the medevacs. They do slip by. And towards the main, stimming in. Going for the shield battery. Do we have a recall? No recall available. The main base, it may just go down. Yeah, sustaining a lot of hull damage, and Cure, he might just commit, and he will. The Nexus does fall. Creator just called completely out of position. He will clean this up. At the same time, here comes Cure towards the third, and he's being pulled apart. And again, imagine if Creator had called those medevacs. He was just a couple of seconds too late. Barely missed it, and with that, he's losing everything. Losing the main base, losing the third as well. Creator trying to dive in. Tank volley's going up. And he just cannot keep up. Too many losses too quickly here as Cure, he breaks through massive storms. Oh my, he stands in the storms. Despite that, doesn't matter. GG gets called, and Cure ties up the series 1-1. Whew, GG. Here we go. GG, well played. We're tied up. We're going to game 3. We're going to game 3 here. I mean, it's a best of 5 regardless, but do have a back and forth here. And again, I did feel like Creator, he was just, in a way, a couple seconds too late in multiple different ways. If you recall, when it came to the initial 4-gate to Blink Stalker, he was unable to really hit his timing. If you recall, he wasn't able to punish the lack of tanks of his opponent. He was a couple of seconds too late. Likewise, he barely missed the drop into the main as well, and that was the beginning of the end. If it wasn't for that, we probably would have seen a back and forth and a longer game there, but Creator, who just pulled left, pulled right, pulled apart. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into game number 3. We're going to be loading into ley lines. Let's go. Let us go. As morning, in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing, being forced into a tied-up series here. We'll see if he can gain momentum and fight back and put a point on the board and take a lead in the series. It is a Creator. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, the red Terran representing Team Liquid. He has momentum on his side, does tie up the series. It is a Cure. We go. So our players are settling in. And we'll see how our players do adjust. Again, we've seen different variations of Blink-based openers already by Creator. Game 1, we saw 3-gate Blink. Game 2, we saw 4-gate Blink. Game 3, how many gateways? How committed or how economic are we going to be? Welcome one and all to Ley Lines. Ley Lines has a similar rush distance by ground to Ultra Love, so a relatively standard rush distance, not too long, not too short, it's right down the middle when it comes to the current map pool. When it comes to how defendable this map is, less so than Ultra Love. There are some points of elevation, that is true. We have some narrow ramps coming in towards the 4th, coming in towards the 3rd base, so these are quite defendable, but again, it's mainly these ramps. The center of the map is a lot more open compared to Ultra Love, and we'll see if we can get there. We shall see. For now, economic opener. We have a rack single gas opener out of Cure going for a faster expansion, so economic start out of the Terran player. Likewise, Creator just going for a gate cyber expand as well. So standard openers, there's no crazy proxy, there's no early game aggression, there's no faster tech out of Cure. So far, so good. Now, I would imagine the Creator's going to be going for another Blink opener, but exactly how many gateways? Oh, hello. As Curie does get behind the mineral line, going for the bunker. And we'll see if this goes unscouted. Reaper is on the way. The goal here is to finish up the bunker, get behind the mineral line, and to delay mining for as long as possible. As Reaper is on the way. Creator, he does notice. He is trying to get onto the SCV, but the RNG is solid, and so far the SCV does get away, and the bunker will finish. The bunker will complete. Probe goes down. Stalker has arrived. Actually, can he deny the bunker? Oh no! What a bust! Ooh, he gets it. SCV goes down. No bunker. Very nicely done. Reaper dives into the main. Gets one probe. Gets 2 actually. 1 in the low ground. 1 in the high ground. 2 probes go down. And from here, Creator, he can cancel the shield battery. Alas, he lets it finish. Shield battery does complete. And with that Cure, he does deal some nice damage here. I mean, he lost an SCV, but he kills 2. Kills 2 probes. And he also forced this shield battery to complete, as otherwise it wouldn't really be necessary. The reason for the shield battery was just to deal with the bunker. If the bunker finishes, then there's repairs, and then of course there's more HP here on the Reaper as it is within the bunker, and it takes a lot for the Stalkers to break through, so we need that shield battery. Without the bunker, the shield battery is a waste. So some nice damage here by Cure. Behind this, Cure getting to his own 1-1-1 into additional Raxes. Stalkers, they get past the Widowmine. Just barely. And despite Cure attempting to delay mining time, Creator does the same. Gets across, forces back the SCVs. Stalkers are getting low, but there's the recall, and again some nice counter damage here by Creator. Denies mining time, gets 1 SCV. Behind this, setting up for a Widowmine drop. Once again, similar to the previous game where the Widowmine drop isn't really too committed. I say that's going to be a 3rd Widowmine on the way. Okay, there's potential. And a big reason for this is the lack of scouts. Okay. Widowmines are spreading out. Creator setting up. Oh my, he's crazy. Remember earlier how I was like, no, game 1 it was 3-gate Blink, game 2 was 4-gate Blink. Now we're probably just gonna calm things down. No. We double down instead. We go from 4 gates all the way up to 6. It's a 2-base all in. Jesus. How many gateways are we gonna see next game? Like what? Are we gonna go up to 8 gates next game? Calm down. Calm down. So 2-base 6-gate all in. Drop is gonna be heading towards the natural, but again, it's just a Widowmine drop. Doesn't really have too much potential. As Creator, he does spot it, is in position, and Cure has no idea. He has no idea what's going on. He is waddling in, does spot the expansion. That tells Akira that he is safe at home when he is anything but. Oh boy. As Blink is finishing up, Stalkers are reinforcing. Ideally, Creator, he wants to wait for extra warp-ins. And what is there for him to defend? There's one tank on low ground, no bunker. Uh-oh. There's no bunker, there's a second tank on the way, but this tank is exposed. And remember, there's no stim. Adept does confirm. Creator scouting ahead of time, slipping into the main, distracting his opponent. Meanwhile, with Wedge up here towards the bases. Mine's just going off. Ooh, not bad, getting 4 probes. 2 in the main, 2 in the natural. 4 workers go down in total, but they're now cleaned up, and now Creator, he can focus on the push, he can focus on the attack. And remember, it was a fake third. He cancels the third base. It is a 2-base all-in, and Curie's being caught with his pants down. He has no idea what's going on. For all he knows, you know, we're expanding, we're macroing, we're making probes, anything but. But is Creator taking too long? Okay, there's one tank stuck in the main. This tank is not going to help. And again, no bunker. There's no bunker here. There's no defensive setup. But Stim is now done. Has Creator taken too long? He's going to bait out the tank shot. At least he tries to. Takes down the tank. Stim is done. Reinforces a rotate over. Boys are being pulled. Can Cure hold on as Stalkers are falling? But he dives on the second tank. Oh, dives on the medevac, actually. Takes some extra tank shots to the face. A lot of Stalkers are going down. Some rough trades here for Creator. As he's running out of steam. No shot. Focusing down the medevac was a bold move. I think it was a misclick, actually, initially. As he took extra tank shots to the face. And wow, Cure holds. Cure holds, and Creator, he's in a rough position here. This had to end the game. And again, for Creator to focus on that medevac instead of the tank, like, I don't think that was intentional. And likewise, Stim is now done. More buyers building up. Creator, he could have done it. He had potential, but dives on the tank, but now they're Marauders. The Marauders, they punish this so hard. And Cure, he's going to take it. Shuts down the army. Barely anything left. A handful of slow lots. GG gets called. And Cure, he takes game number 3, taking a lead in the series. GG. My heart goes out to Creator, right? Like, he had played that so well. And in the lead up, I should say, in the lead up to the all-in, he'd played it so well, hiding the all-in, catching Cure off guard. It did feel like his move out was delayed. I'm pretty sure ideally with that all-in, you want to hit before Stim. But regardless, even with that initial dive focusing down the tank, it was unfortunate that Cure was already rotating to the low ground. His tank was unsieged, moving down, and again, the focus firing on the medevac instead of the tank was also a bold move here from a Creator. I think it was a misclick just because, if you remember, I think he sent one volley to the medevac, and then the second volley was to the tank. So he kind of left the medevac alive, and then he had another volley towards the medevac as well, like it's So just a rough execution there, and with that, GG. GG, well played. Cure, he survives, and with that, Cure takes a lead, and Cure, he is 1 game away from advancing on into the next round. Now, as a reminder, here in the OSC Season 12 Championship, we're currently in the upper brackets. What does that mean? That means there is a lower bracket. There is a safety net. So regardless of who wins and who loses, they will still have another chance to continue their run in that lower bracket. It is brutal, as of course you have no safety net anymore. You know, you have no second life, but you still have a chance to recover, to redeem yourself. As we're getting into our next game. Tank got 2 extra shots. Yeah, that's what I'm alluding to. Like the fact that the focus firing was on the medevac. What that means is that, of course, the tanks got extra volleys, more than they should have. That was the purpose of me bringing it up. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, down in this series, up against the wall. He has to fight back here and now to force the ace match. It is a Creator. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Liquid. 1 game away from advancing on into the next round. It is Cure. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo está? Shout out, oh my god, wait, proxy. But shout out Lazy Tobin in the chat, so I think there's no brutal supply block before the attack. If that's the case, I didn't notice, so my apologies, but that would have made sense as to why the attack hit a little bit later and why the extra tank had arrived as well and was moving down to low ground. So potentially also supply block, which delayed the push, which also is brutal. Smurge, baby, smurge. As creator, he kicks things off with a proxy. Now, this is not an all-in, but this is designed to punish an economic build. Speaking of, do you see what I see? One gas geyser. Okay. So what's happening here is that Cure, he's going for one gas into an expand on the low ground. Because the CC is going to be on the low ground, the factory is going to be delayed. There's going to be minimal use to defend, and the goal here for Creator is to move out across the map to reinforce with initial units, Zealot, Stalker, Adept. Speaking of, here comes the first Zealot to try to force a cancel on the CC and potentially get even more damage than that. Oh boy. Meanwhile, SCV's moving out across the map. There's a CC on the low ground for Cure. First Zealot's on the way. Now, the way this works, it should be a Zealot first here with the initial gateway. Should be a Stalker across the map and an Adept back at home. The Adept, the reason why you build it here with the gateway back at home is because it does have a shorter rush distance to get across the map. It can shade. It is faster as a unit. Here come the Stalkers, the Reaper Scouts. He confirms. Does confirm the gateway. He's aware of what's going on. But can he save the CC? As the command center is going to have a lot of progression. Second SCV moves down to low ground. Marine has arrived. Probe goes down. We'll see if Cure can hold. Throwing down the bunker. Bunker's on the way. Creator poking in. Delays the bunker. More boys being pulled. Again, scouting gives Cure just such a heads up to prepare like this. And he's going to save it. He's going to save the CC. Zealot's going to be focused down. One Marine goes down. Ooh, bunker is denied. But the CC, it's about to complete. Can he stop it? Up. Can he stop the CC? Oh my god, it's going to be close. And he barely does delay, but more boys are being pulled. Marine gets started down. And it should complete. Ooh, Reaper falls. The Reaper falls. Marines as well. And GG gets caught. He breaks through. The CC completes, but the bunker does not. And Creator, he snowballs out of control. Creator ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Typically, the way this plays out, this isn't necessarily supposed to end the game, but because Cure committed so hard, he pulled so many SCVs, and if you're pulling that many boys, you need to finish the bunker. You need to hold, you need to defend, you need to be able to secure yourself. If you don't, it's not worth it. If you don't, it's just not worth it. Cure, he put it all on the line. He was unable to save that bunker, though. He was unable to preserve his units with that. GG, well played. GG, well played. Creator snowballs out of control, and we are going all the way to game number 5. Oh my god. And really, that's all I wanted. Regardless of how this goes, we go all the way to the ace match. Best of luck to Cure, best of luck to Creator. Who's it going to be? Who will make it through? As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Frostline, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss, tying up the series 2-2 and forcing the ace match. It is a Creator. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Liquid, being forced into the ace match. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is a Cure. Oh, we're done being nice. He's like, you want to proxy me? No. I proxy you. Let's go. We have not just one, we have 2 SVs moving out across the map. It is going to be a proxy 2 ranks Reaper. Let's go. I'm assuming Reaper here, as I believe, yeah, with 2 ranks, we shouldn't really be having the room here to go for a proxy Marauder. Reapers are going to be on the way. We'll see, though, how this all comes together. So proxies are being thrown down. Gas is being taken back at home. Actually, we'll see. We shall see if tech labs are going to be thrown down alongside this. I mean, like, I'm getting deja vu. If you remember, I am Katowice last year, Hero versus Cure in the semifinals, sorry, the quarterfinals. What was the semis? Quarterfinals. The deja vu. As Max is like, yep, there it is. There are the tech labs. So it's going to be Proxy Marauder here. What I'm referring to, if you were watching at the time, was it on Golden Aura? Yeah, it was on Golden Aura. Kira versus Hero, where Hero got cheesed out of I Am Katowice with Proxy Marauder. It was a it was a dark time. I felt so bad for Hero. But here we go. The Marauders are on the way, as only one gas was taken. And we'll see how Creator handles this. And so far, Creator is in the dark. We have seen previously Creator scout the third base locations for proxies, but this time he is not. Just going for the initial sentry opener. Oh. Okay, so with this sentry-based opener, he will be able to go for Hallucination Scout across the map, but I am concerned here for his lack of army, lack of units here to defend. Here comes that Hallucination. And the Marauders are banking up. And here we go, Marauders, they move out. Boys are being... Oh, we have some SCVs as well to help soak, help tank. Okay, third Marauder has arrived. And here he commits. And Creator is being caught with his pants down. He has no idea what's going on. Does have a Robo on the way. Again, the natural is going to be forfeit. Pylon's going to go down. Here come the bunkers. And Creator is setting up on the high ground. Again, he doesn't want to try to save the low ground. Nice force field. He does catch one of the Marauders. Yeah, boys are being pulled. The first Marauder should go down. First Marauder gets caught. Again, very nice force field. Can he catch the other? He can! Oh my... Creator, calm down! Does shut them down. A very nice force field. And with the help of these boys, the Marauders are getting picked up. Second Marauder goes down. Third Marauder as well. Is beating out some probes, but Creator still has a worker lead. And again, like, losing the natural doesn't matter. He doesn't have to save the natural base. Doesn't have to save it. Just focusing on the high ground defense. Still has the Adepts. Immortals on the way. Oh, Creator, okay, he's gonna pull the boys. He wants to try to save the natural. Stalker goes down. Nice kiting here out of Cure. Takes down the probes. Second Stalker has arrived. Has a lot of workers falling. Again, I don't think we can save this. We shouldn't be trying here. Yeah, the base does fall, and we did lose a lot of probes and a Stalker in the process. A little bit unnecessarily. Nice force field once again. Like, this is how we want to fight. Catching out three Marauders. The Marauders get caught. And Creator is holding, but again, not the cleanest defense here by Creator. He was just getting a little bit too greedy earlier. Oh, and should we be active like this? This I'm not so sure about. Gets a Marauder. Gets one. Going for the other, but he's getting caught out here. Yeah, the Immortal's going to go down. The Creator, he overextends. We should not have been out here, Pappy. The Immortal goes down, and now there's nothing left. There's nothing. There's one Stalker. Again, we had some amazing fights here at the ramp, but again, Creator, he got too excited, moved down, lost a lot of workers, lost the Immortal. Back at home, Cure transitioning. Stim is on the way, combat shields, marine production has begun. Cure is walking back home, and now Creator doesn't really have any pushing power. And we'll see where Cure goes from here. Now, with this marine kind of follow-up here that Cure is going for, he could try to punish Creator if he tries to expand. He could just try to focus on the second wave. Otherwise, he could expand himself. There it is. CC is on the way. Cure is expanding. We're settling into a longer game state. And Cure, he will have the faster natural, of course. It's on Creator to recognize how safe he is. He needs to go for Hallucination. He needs a Hallucination Scout to confirm that the army's back at home, and that should allow Creator to expand. Oh, he's going for an all-in. Never mind. War Prison's on the way. Third gateway. Creator, he's going for the counter all-in. But Cure, all he has to do is just chill. Just calm down. Stay in the main. Wait for his upgrades. Okay. Creator, he is expanding, thankfully. But he is going to be committing across the map. Did he finish the War Prism? Oh, he cancelled. Okay. Let's go. He had a War Prism in production. He cancels the War Prism. Which means we're macroing. Despite the chaotic start to the game, we're calming things down. We're getting into the mid-game, or trying to at least. or at least taking our naturals. Now, as we get into this kind of game state, I do favor Cure. The reason why I favor him here is, look at the upgrades. He's got Stim, he's got Combat Shield, he's got Concussive Shell, and he's at that +1 as well. Like, his upgrades are looking very solid. Likewise, medevac production has begun as well, so he has a lot of potential with this army. Creator, less so. Creator, he is, for the most part, stuck at home. He doesn't really have a lot of mobility with this force either. So Cure can be active. And he will be. Just waiting for those medevacs. Medevacs have arrived. And now he can go for drop play. And it's going to be a tough defense here for Creator. As here come those medevacs. Here come those drops. Creator repositioning. Now the Observer did spot the drop. He is aware. He's attempting to intercept. Best case scenario here for Creator. Can he get a full medevac? Boost is on cooldown. Oh, he gets one! He gets one for medevac. Massive pickup. Medevac goes down. Oh no! No, okay, there we go. He gets one and almost gets the other. Very nice catch here by Creator. Okay, we're in this. We are in this. Oh my god. You could see Creator holding his breath. He was like just sneaking under the medevac. Let's go. Okay. We have a game. With that, this drop play does nothing. This drop play accomplishes nothing here for Cure. Back at home, he's building up, getting to more medevacs, getting to more drops. Oh my god. Evac goes off. Medevac should go down. With that, no more high ground vision. The prison takes a lot of hits. Took a lot of damage. Almost disastrous here for Creator. Playing with fire. But does take down the second medevac. Storm is on the way. We have 2 base versus 2 base. Third CC's in production here for Cure. Creator should soon be expanding, but again, he's still trying to stabilize. Still settling in. Medevac moving out. Now, as opposed to the previous drop, this one has not been spotted. There's no Observer here towards the left-hand side. So Creator, he has not seen these Marines. Until now. He does respond in time. Does respond, attempting to expand. Cure is aware. As he saw the probe. And we're going for a storm drop. It's so... This prism is so low. The prism is so low. So risky here going for the drop. Let's go. Checking his High Templar. There's one Marine in position. Oh, he can commit. No. It was just one Marine. Doesn't test his luck. Creator, he backs off. Sees the Marine, is like, nah, man, I'm good. Doesn't want to risk it. I mean, I don't blame him. If the Prism had more HP, then maybe he would have gone for it. But again, it's just so risky. And it's just such a high value target as well. Meanwhile, do you have a full Marine drop into the main? Do you get a feedback? Now the Marines, they do focus down so many pro. Oh my god! Yeah, pro's gonna be going down. Stalker as well. High Templar as well. Jeez, the High Templar barely does survive. Force use Storm defensively instead. Another feedback, which doesn't really get much done. A very successful drop here from Cure. Sniping a handful of workers. Cure behind this, now landing his third base. He's already got into ghost production. Built up a death bull of an army. It's a lot of marauders, a lot of Widowmines, and some ghosts. In a head-on fight, I do favor Cure. I do think that a lot has to go Creator's way to take a fight. Basically, the storms. If Creator, if he can land the most perfect storms, then maybe he can hold on. It's gonna have to be perfect storms and also the force fields. Like if these force fields, if they can cut this army in half, and then he has to fight just half the army at a time, then Creator, he can survive. But even then, it's just such an overwhelming force. And high ground helps. The shield battery helps. Creator puffing up his chest here with those hallucinations. Storm here on some of the bio. It's okay. Feedbacks the Ghost. We need some better storms. As he's going up the ramp. Does push in. We get one storm off. Just the one. Colossus has arrived, but nah, it looks like Curi's going to be able to break through this. He sims in, he sims, and he wins. GG gets called. Cure, he will take the series 3-2, advancing on to the next round. GG. Whew. Oh my god, GG, well played. Very impressive play here by Cure. But a shout out to Creator because, mate, we went all the way to the ace match. We went all the way, and not gonna lie, part of me is thinking back on that game when Creator went for the 6K 2-base all-in, when he got supply blocked, when he, you know, misfired as well. Like, this could have gone either way. Is what I'm getting at. This could have gone either way. I can see this going the way of both Cure and Creator, so GG, well played. In the end, of course, Cure does take it, but I wish Creator the best of luck, because he's still in this tournament. He gets knocked down to the lower bracket. It is not impossible to have a deep run from the lower bracket as well, so best of luck to Creator. Best of luck. Yeah. GG. GG, well played. And with that, that leads us into our second series of the night. The TVPs continue here. As up next, we have Honmono versus Shameless. Let's go. Let us go. As we are getting into our next game here. Oh, let's go. A map that I haven't seen in quite some time, and part of me feels like I wish I didn't see this map ever again. We got a lot of games on this map. Welcome one and all to an older map of the map pool. Welcome to Gressvan. As spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player living in the land of Japan, representing Team Hyper 1. It is Honmono. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. Here we go. Now, if you're curious as to why we are even on Gressvan, what is this, 2022? I mean, not yet, but basically, OSC, the OSC Championship do feature an extended map pool. What does that mean? That means that there are some older maps in the map pool that we're going to be featuring. Maps like Gressvan, maps like, do we have Ancient Cistern as well? Let me just double check here. I can double check. So it's the current ladder map pool with bonus maps. So it is going to be Gressvan, Romanticide, and Errorholm. There we go. So 3 maps have been added here to the map pool of the OSC Championship, so players are able to play on some of these older maps instead. Gressvan, of course, is a very large map. Actually, I would say probably larger than all the newer maps in the map pool, even larger than Frostline, but smaller than, you know, the older maps. I'm referring to maps like Abyssal Reef, Neon Violet Square, and King's Cove. But Gressvan was known for long macro games, was known for cutting the map in half, and, you know, 45+ minute games here on Gressvan. It's, yeah, let's go. We've casted many a late game on Gressvan. Many a late game. Which is why I'm a little bit surprised. Coming into this series, of course, welcome one and all, we have Honmono. Honmono, he's an animal. Honmono, he is known for all-ins, he's known for cheese, he is the most aggressive player in all of South Korea, the most aggressive Terran at least in all of South Korea, and we rarely see macro out of Honmono, specifically in TVP. So coming into this, I'm curious what the plan is going to be, and if he does attempt to macro. Behind this, Shameless just going for a Gate Expand or Gate Cyber Expand. Standard open out of Shameless, likewise Honmono opening up in a standard fashion as well. Racks into CC on the low ground. Here we go. As we do have a second Rax behind this. This is the first sign of a 2-base all-in. What I'm referring to, typically, when you go for a second Rax this quickly, most likely there's going to be a third Rax as well. Yep, we're setting up for the third Rax, and if there's a third Rax, what does that mean? That means heavily delayed starport. Yep, there it is, third Rax. Third Rax gets placed, heavily delayed starport. This is to prioritize bio production, to prioritize bio upgrades as well, to delay the medevacs, and then when you eventually get the starport, when you eventually get the medevacs, Then you pull the boys and you go for a 2-base all-in. So this screams 2-base all-in here from Honmono. And it's gonna be on Shameless to scout and to realize what's going on. Shameless, he moves out with the Adept. There are variations of this where you just skip the starport entirely. You just don't even get it. Just don't even get the starport. Here come the Tech Labs. Again, we're rushing into Stim, rushing into Combat Shields. This is going to be a very strong timing here with Mass Spire, with SCVs. And Shameless needs to figure out what's going on. Behind this, Twilight Council opener into Blink. Safety Robo, how many gateways? If Shameless opens up economically, if he goes for 2-gate Blink into a third, Shameless, he may just die. Honmono moving out early on. Bolds move out here by Honmono. Diving on the Adepts. Shield Battery's about to finish up. One Adept goes down. But the Shield Battery is done. And with the help of the Shield Battery, Shameless, he should hold. And I'm not too fond of this move out by Honmono. Considering he's setting up for a 2-base all-in, he's bleeding out a lot of Marines ahead of time. That's what, 3 Marines and a Hellion going down. 4 Marines go down. And this will weaken the follow-up push. Hellion falls as well. But Shameless, this is 2-gate Blink into a third. This is a very economic build here out of Shameless. And this is exactly what Honmono wanted. He wanted Shameless to cut corners, wanted Shameless to open up in a more economic way. And Honmono, he might just snowball out of control from here. Still waiting for Stim. Building up his tanks. I believe Honmono, he typically moves out with, I want to say 2 or 3 tanks. So he's building up. And because this build from Shameless, he has less gateways, he has less warp-ins, he has less of an army. His army is smaller as a result. Here's the first tank. Second tank is on the way. I believe the second tank is more or less lined up here with Stim. A third tank would be lined up with +1. So Honmono, he's amassing his army. Is building up. The Observer does somewhat scout what's going on. For all Shameless knows, this could just be a 3-racks. But I feel like a 3-racks would have hit by now. So Shameless is piecing it all together. Does spot the army. I do appreciate that he's being active. If Blink is done, he needs to slow down the all-in. As Honmono is making 5 Marines at a time. And Honmono, he will soon pull the trigger. Here we go. He's got 2 tanks. He has +1 soon to finish. And here comes Honmono. Does move out. Show us the boys. As he's up to 3 tanks. And there it is. And the boys are being pulled. As we mentioned, when it came to the opener, it just screamed 2-base all-in. So Honmono is sending everything across the map. And Shameless, he will spot this. Does he get a tank? Tank is being targeted down. Up, up. Oh, he barely doesn't. No, the tank gets on 5 HP. 1 shot. Oh no, the Storm's getting caught out as well. Ay. Shameless, he was so close. The tank survives. Mass repair. And Shameless is in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble here. Storm is about to finish though. Storm is done in a couple of seconds. High Templar getting in position. If he can land these storms, he can hold. But he needs those storms. Tank volley is going off. And massive connection here on the High Templar. Honmono slowly pushing in. Gaining ground, getting within range here of the base, of the Nexus. Ooh, massive storm. Very nice for a storm. And we have a second storm available. There is a second storm. And remember, because of all these boys being pulled, Shameless doesn't have to engage. He doesn't have to fight for this third base. He can just back off and defend the natural. Doesn't want to get baited in. Meanwhile, Shameless catching reinforcements. Very nice moves. Marines are going down. Remember, he can always recall back home. Does hit the natural. Making sure the Honmono cannot reinforce. But the tanks are still gaining ground. Has Shameless not quite to attend him. Oh, does snipe the High Templar. High Templar falls. Again, a bit of miscontrol here by Shameless. He wants that storm. Does one and Zelds across the map. They do still catch reinforcements. They take down the SCVs. So Honmono, he's running out of steam. And the longer this goes on, the better it is for Shameless. He's making more High Templars, making another Immortal. Extra Warp-ins. Shameless's army is getting bigger. Homeowner's is not. But this is still a terrifying force. Going for the pylon. I believe that will depower the shield battery. Yeah, shield battery is depowered. Shields get triggered with the Immortal. Shields are triggered. Wait. Okay. I was like, is he going back home? He's crazy. The army dives in, going for the tanks. Tanks are exposed. He gets one. One tank goes down. Nice target fire here on the High Templar. He gets both High Templar, just one Storm. But are there enough Marines? He takes out the Archon. Will take down the Immortal as well. But Shameless, he holds. He barely holds on. He shuts down the army, forces to cancel. The tanks full as well. And Homeowner, what does he have left? He has 38 SVs, barely an economy. There's barely anything left. Again, Homeowner pulling back his bio army did expose himself. And that was it. That was the moment that Shameless was looking for. Takes it back up third base. It's up and running. And Shameless, he's done it. He has done. We have a Desperation, a Liberator counterattack. Both Liberators do full. Whew. And we're good. See, patience, Pappy. That's all you need. Just calm down, take it slow, go for a Zealot counterattack, fall back to your natural, get it back up third base, don't get baited into attack early on. It's a very nice play here from Shameless. Homeowner, he's not out of this yet though, he's going for a drop. The pylon does spot the medevac. Back at home, Homeowner, he's still in a 2-base economy. Throwing down a Ghost, that's ambitious. Throwing down a Ghost Academy. Getting into Ghost production. Basically, I mean, we've seen this before. If you haven't watched Homeowner in the past, Homeowner, he is an animal. Mate, if you survive his first all-in, he'll just back off and go for a second all-in. And if the Protoss player is too greedy, as we can see here, Shameless getting a 4th base. Risky. But if Shameless is too greedy, if he takes up, if he throws down a 4th base, if he throws down a second Forge, into a second Robo, into a Bay, if he spends too much money here on tech and less on his army, then Homeowner, he can catch you off guard with a second all-in. By pulling the boys for a second time. Like, you're never safe against Homeowner. he's an animal. Oh no. Be careful. As Shameless, he is taking, thankfully not too greedily. You know, he's still only on 1 Robo, the Bay is on the way. Extra Warp-ins, is getting a 4th base, which I'm a little bit concerned by, but it'll be okay. I mean, Gressvan is a larger map. Again, if you look at the army supplies are quite comparable to each other. I would have loved to see a War Prism just to keep these High Templars safe from an EMP. That's another factor, of course. Is 1 EMP in these High Templar, they wouldn't have any storms. Homeowner, he picks up his main, lands it as a 3rd, he's maintaining himself. Shameless, he spots the lift. Again, a Terran is never really gone. They have mules, Pappy. Let's go. Scans at time, sees the expansion. Homeowner, he's aware of the 4-base setup. He's aware of the composition. More Zealots reinforcing. First Colossus is about to help out. I feel like with the arrival of this first Colossus, Shameless should be fine. Like, there's no real answer to the Colossi. There's no Vikings, for example. That's going to be a lot of secure damage. As Homeowner, he's gearing up, waiting for another wave. Another wave of Marauders. Here comes the move out. Yeah, he's committed, he's moving out. How many ghosts does he have? Gee, 7 ghosts! Does have 7 ghosts, he can still threaten the main army. Shameless, he backs the hell off. No shield batteries. No shield batteries here at the 4th base. Bear that in mind. Zealots, they do hit the 3rd though. SVs are going down. Ooh, EMPs do connect. There's the first and the second storm. Oh my god, the storms! The storms, they pop up, they shut down the army. EMPs are good, but they're not that good. Not against all these storms. And Shameless, he does it. He shuts down the army. Oh my god, the mine shots go up. But despite that, GG gets called, and Shameless, he takes game number 1. Whew, GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Shameless does take lead in the series. but merely only a lead. And again, the map was also working against Homeowner there when it comes to the size of the map, the rush distance by ground as well. But this is what we should be expecting out of Homeowner in this series as we're getting ready for game number 2. We're going to be loading into Frostline. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Frostline, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Hyper 1 down in this series. We'll see if we can bounce back and make a series out of this. It is Homeowner. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is SKillous. Leading the series 1-0. Here we go, we can now settle in. And now that you're a little bit more familiar with Homeowner, we can talk about SKillous here. SKillous, if you are unfamiliar, then watch more CranKy Ducklings. SKillous, he, I would say, is the rising star of 2024. SKillous, he hit GM at the end of 2023. He has been around for a long time, but more of an amateur player, you know, a Masters player playing in amateur tournaments, in amateur team leagues as well. He did hit GM at the end of 2023. I want to say like November of 2023. And when he did, he started to commit into practicing, into improving, into competing, and he was playing in everything. And SKillous, he showed up real quick in 2024. It's been impressive to see his growth as a player, able to rise through the ranks amongst the European Protosses, rise past the lower tier of Pro, up in towards the middle tier as well, up into the upper echelons. I mean, yeah, SKillous, it's been great to see his growth as a player. Nowadays, I do favor him against someone like Homeowner in a longer macro game. Get SKillous into the mid game, get him into the late game, and I do favor him. But Homeowner, he thrives in all-ins, and it's not easy to get into a macro game against him. Oh boy. But currently, for example, when it comes to the CIS region, I think I would place SKillous as the second best Protoss, second only to SKillous, for example. I would place SKillous above UED Soldier. I would place him above Rostock. I'd place him above Art. Yeah, Art. Who else comes to mind as well? Exo Striker. Like SKillous, he has surpassed them all, I would say. And he's a very young player. He's 18, I believe. He's 18 years old. He turned 18 last year. 2024 is when he turned 18. So a very young player. I would say he's still below, I would say just below players like Geralt, for example. Like Geralt, Christiana, Harstem. I think I would play SKillous like just below them, but just below. And again, to have that kind of growth in a year is impressive. It is impressive. As we have so far a Robo Opener, very safe play here by SKillous. I don't blame SKillous for playing safe. With a Robo Opener, what this means, it leads into early Immortal production, can lead into early Colossus production as well, early Observer, likewise to move out across the map. The downside is that this does delay your Twilight Council, it delays Blink, it delays Charge, it delays your further tech, just for a more secure way to play. Meanwhile, here comes a hallucination. Homeowner, one base all in. Let's go, Fabi. I mean, we spoke earlier. Homeowner, he thrives at all ins. Hallucination confirms the 1-1-1, confirms no expansion, no natural base. It's all or nothing on one base. Let's go. You don't often see one base all ins in TVP. You see them every now and then. We've seen Spirit go for one base all ins, Oliveira go for one base all ins, Gumiho every now and then, Ryung, and of course, Homeowner as well. Let's go. Behind this, getting to tank production, a couple of boys are being pulled here to support, to repair, to throw down bunkers. And because of this, the early Robo and early Immortal production is ideal for SKillous. So far, the build is good, but what about the execution? As Homeowner, he drops into the main. Army's out of position. Immortal is exposed. Shields are triggered. The army has to respond. There's a lock on the Immortal. We can't lose it this early on. The Immortal taking a lot of hits, and the Immortal, it looks like it will not escape. The Cyclone pops off. The Immortal goes down. Massive pickup. That should not have happened. The Immortal was necessary to defend against the tank. And with that, SKillous is in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble here. The shield battery is going to be going down. The tank is soon to siege. SKillous, he needs the Immortal, but alas, he lost it. Boys are being pulled. Tank does siege. Shameless going for the dive. Takes down the medevac. Takes down the tank. Losing a lot of stalkers in the process. Tank does go down. Now going for the Liberator as well. Can he get the lib? He can. Some nice pickoffs here by Shameless, and he is barely holding on, taking down the Marines. Whew. That was not an easy hold here, but Shameless, he survives. Takes down the tank, the medevac, the Liberator as well. Second Immortal has arrived, and Shameless, he should be fine. He should now be fine. Again, almost like a counter opener here from Shameless. The robot was what he needed. GG gets called, and Shameless, he hard counters Homono, takes game number 2, and is 1 game away from advancing on into the next round. Whew, GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Again, good call for Shameless to open up in a very safe manner with a robo. It was still rough though. Losing the first Immortal was brutal and things looking shaky there for Shameless, but again, he dove in, shut down the tank, shut down the medevac, shut down the Liberator as well. It was a split-second decision here for Shameless to dive the way that he did with those Stalkers. Did focus on every single unit, every single high-tech unit, I should say, and GG. Whew, GG, well played. With that, that leads us into game 3. Shameless, he is 1 game away from 3-0ing Hon Mono. And the pressure is on the Korean Terran. The pressure is on. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Hyper 1. Down in this series, he needs to fight back here and now to have a chance at forcing an extended series out of this. Hello, SCV. It is Hon Mono. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Blue Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy, leading the series 2-0. Well, no mas, 1 more game is all he needs to advance on into the next round. It is Shameless. And my eyes are on this SCV. There it is, proxy racks across the map. Let's go. Now, Hon Mono, he is very fond of Proxy Marauder. He's very fond of Proxy Marauder, assuming that's the direction we're headed in. There's 1 racks back at home, 1 across the map. Gas is being taken. I'm feeling the Proxy Marauder. Now, this is a different build to what we saw from Cure. If you remember, Cure, he went 2 racks Marauder, 2 racks Marauder, 2 racks Tech Lab, I should say, into Marauder production against Creator. This is only 1 Tech Lab across the map, only 1 Marauder at a time. He's going to be building up Marines, and I believe Hon Mono will be pulling the boys. I believe he pulls the boys with this, with Marines, with Marauders, and tries to break the Protoss here and now. And show us that Tech Lab. There it is. Tech Lab is on the way, as you mentioned. Again, this is a very unique build to Hon Mono. I believe Bjorn has done this build before as well. I think Bjorn did copy it at one point, but like just once, really. But regardless, Hon Mono, he is going all in. The purpose of this racks back at home is to make it look standard, is to make it look like a normal build and a normal game. Shameless is expanding. He is unaware as to what's going on. For all he knows, everything's looking normal. Everything's looking as it should. Scouting probe is zoned away. Marauders are building up. And we're waiting for the boys to be pulled. We're waiting for that moment. Still waiting for Concussive Shell, of course. Shameless cornering out that first Stalker. Getting in position. Again, still in the dark. And here we go. It is going to be only 3. Okay, only 3 SCVs are being pulled alongside this. Marine moving out. Marauders are backing up. And we'll see if Hon Mono can break through. Now, these SCVs are designed to throw down bunkers. They can buffer, they can support, but they can also throw down bunkers as well. And again, Shameless has no idea. He does have a safety shield battery on the way. Adept is on the way as well. Yeah, as the army is revealed, bunkers being thrown down. And the Stalker can't engage. Yeah, Stalker cannot engage, just caught on the wrong side of the wall. The Stalker's going to go down. Massive pickoff. Bunker is going to be delayed. Shield battery does complete, but it's just the 1 Adept. As shield battery goes down to the Marauders. GG gets called. Everything falls, and Hon Mono fights back. GG. Again, just a really rough position for the Stalker. The Stalker stuck on the wrong side of the wall. With that, I mean, that's half of the army just rendered useless for Shameless. And he was, of course, forced to fight, forced to try to maintain that natural. GG. GG, well played. Homemono puts a point on the board. And one more game, and Homemono, he can force the ace match. And again, this is what we expect to see out of Homemono. All in after all in, cheese after cheese, aggression after aggression. What do we have next here in Game 4? What I appreciate, we've been seeing something different every game. We have been seeing different all-ins, different builds out of Homemono game after game after game. What's next? As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Romanticide, again, one of the older maps in the map pool. It's been a couple of years since we've been casting on Romanticide. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Hyper 1. It is Homemono. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Blue Protoss player, representing Team Little Fairy. Once again, the SCV moves out. It is SKillous. Here we go. This is a common proxy location. Let's go as we are setting up for the proxy racks here on the other side of the mineral wall. The memories. it's all flooding back, Pappy. This is a very common proxy location. Again, welcome one and all to Romanticide. This was in the map pool back in, I think, 2021. I want to say like around 2021 was when this was in the map pool. I believe this was in the map pool after Eternal Empire. This was the largest map at the time in the current map pool after Eternal Empire in the previous one. And we've seen a lot of macro games, a lot of long games on Romanticide. I'm sure once again, Homemono, he's hoping that SKillous opens up economically. SKillous, he scouts, and once again, he sees a standard setup. He sees a Rax, he sees the gases, everything looks normal. We know it's anything but. It is the same build. Once again, Tech Lab into Marauder into the one base play. So same build 2 games in a row. There's that Tech Lab. The reason why this location is so common for a proxy, as you can see here, it takes 2 SCVs to mine through these minerals and to break through onto the other side. And if you recall with this build, Homemono, he's going to pull some boys. He's going to pull some boys alongside this. We do see SKillous is scouting. Now again, this is a common proxy location, and SKillous, he is going to be checking. Yeah, he is scouting. He's scouting for proxies, checking it towards the left-hand side and checking at the third base location. And oh no, he barely does miss it. Barely does miss it. He was actually rallied to check this location, but he barely does miss the proxy. Going for the shield battery here on the low ground. And he is going to be checking at the triangular third location, or I should say, sorry, the linear third.
I am here in the shadows.
Pulls away. The same setup here out of SKillous. The boys have arrived. Minerals have been mined through. And Homemono pulls the trigger. This time the Stalker is going to be on the correct side of the wall. It's going to be supported by the shield battery. And we're going to have to pull some boys here to hold on. Second Stalker has arrived. Boys are being pulled. Shield battery being targeted down. So far, nice target firing. Getting on top of the Marauder. Marauder takes a lot of hits. Second shield battery on the way. SKillous so far in much better defense. He's buying time. Second pylon as well. Does focus on one of the SCVs. He gets one. Gets an SCV. Pulls back. Going for the Marines. As shield battery does come into play. Gets one. Gets two. 2 Marines go down. But he will lose the Stalker. 1 Stalker left. Pylon is under fire. The rotor cannon is building up. We do have a sentry. We have force fields. Force fields are available. The rest of the boys have been pulled. Homemono, he commits. It's all or nothing. The boys are here, diving on the main army. There's a Guardian shield. Do we have a force field? So far, holding the line. The shield boys are putting in a lot of work. There we go. Does force field. Does zone away the Marauders. SCVs are being targeted down, but he gets us around. And the Stalker, it's going to fall. Yeah, Homemono, he's breaking through. Breaks through the Stalker. Busts into the main. The Immortal has arrived. 1 Stalker as well. The boys are here. Going for the SCVs. SCVs are being cleaned up first. Then going for the Marauders. Marauders are getting low. It's just the 1 Immortal. Stalker goes down, but the Marauders are being focused down. Down to 3. Up. Down to 3. Down to 2. Down to 1. And he does it. He holds. The Immortal takes out the Marauders. There's one Marauder left. Nice kiting here, but a second Immortal has arrived. The Natural still standing. There's still shield batteries. And Shameless, he holds. What is there at home? 9 SEVs, a couple of mules. There's nothing left. Is nothing left. It was a tough hold here by Shameless, but he bought enough time for the Immortal. This is risky. Shameless, he's looking for the proxy. Doesn't quite know where it was. Pulling back. And Shameless has got more than double the worker count of his opponent. Again, he has his shield batteries, moving out with the Observer. And Homeowner is attempting to transition back at home, throwing down a safety bunker into a factory. Again, barely an economy. And unlike on Gressman, Homeowner, he's tough in a bit of copium here. He's down a base, down in workers, down in tech this time as well. This time there's no like stim, there's no combat shields, there's no +1. There's nothing else to fall back on. And Shameless, he can just expand, true. Can just expand. Here we go. As from here, Homeowner, he expands, getting a natural. He's getting a natural base. He's slowly settling in. Getting into his factory, getting into his starport. Tank production has begun. And there is a chance here for Homeowner to take this game, but he has to rely on Shameless making mistakes. Like if he overextends, if Shameless takes a bad fight, if he moves out now, for example, and gets caught out by the tanks, if he, A moves up the ramp. If he's too greedy, oh. Speaking of, that's Hyperflight Rotors. Hello. That's a unique way of coming back here. I mean, part of me was thinking maybe BC, but no, he is going to be committing here into Banshees, and Banshees with good enough control, I mean, they can pull apart a defending player. That is true. Shameless can be torn apart. We'll see. So now Homeowner just securing himself, at least trying to expand, trying to settle down. He's on a one-base economy now, back up to 22 workers. He has some saturation. Is he huffing some copium? He is 100%. No. But there is a chance. Always. As we have Shameless getting his third base, likewise throwing down his bay as well. Again, I mean, this is not quite Terminate Life, but the series here on the line for Honmono. As Shameless getting to +1. Colossus production. Throwing down spotted pylons. From here, he can throw down... it would be too early for a second robo, but he can throw down a fourth base once he gets saturated. Taking extra gases, gateway explosion. I believe he has no blink. Yeah, there's no Twilight Council. Speaking of, there it is. Twilight Council is on the way. You just tech off from here and calm things down. When it comes to Romanticide, again, it is a very old map in the map pool. We do have these center bases with gas geysers. We have all these mineral walls that we can mine through, these rocks to be knocked down. Again, we've casted many a late game on this map. Has some fun memories. Actually, if I recall correctly, yeah, it was on Romanticide where we casted Zane. So it was Risky versus T-Bull. We casted Risky versus T-Bull on Romanticide during ANZ Champs. This is when I casted, it was a live cast at a studio. I was casting from the ESL studio in Sydney. And I remember that that Pig, he was in the break room because Pig, he was off for the cast. He was cast in the next series, and food had arrived. So Pig, he was happily eating like El Janas. He was happily, like, just scarfing down some chicken. And it was me and Pilski casting. I was casting like Pilski. He's a CS:GO caster in Australia, but they brought him on to cast some StarCraft. So I was casting with Pilski, and the food arrived like 10 minutes into the game, and we were locked here in Romanticide with Risky versus T-Bull for over an hour. It was over an hour game. It was crazy. I think that was only game one as well. It was split map. They fully mined out the map as well, and they refused to attack each other. It was fully split map with cannon. It was a ZVP with cannons, with shield batteries. Likewise, Risky had like Infestor, Broodlord, and just really slow composition. And they were just rotating and barely attacking, and we were just locked in. And Pig was just he was just chilling. He was just eating. He was and we were like, oh no, we were starving, Pappy. We're starving. That was the infamous ANZ Champs cast. ANZ Champs. It's where after experiencing that game together, Pilski and I, we bonded in ways we should not. We was. I think at a certain point, like it turned into like a therapy session. I was like, Pilski, what's been going on with you? What's been as literally nothing was happening. It was like, what's been going on? It's like, it's fine. It's like, we just talked about anything else other than the game because there was nothing to talk about. There was just nothing. There was nothing there. Was it like an hour and 30 minutes? Something like that. It was crazy. It was crazy. It's a crazy long game. Eventually, we got our food. Eventually, we were set free. No. But yeah, there's VODs out there of that. As Shameless is just expanding, getting his third base, now getting a fourth as well, double expanding, going for the center expansion. Likewise across the map, Homeowner, he is stabilizing on 2 bases, getting his third as well. As we mentioned before, we should reiterate here that this is a macro-oriented map, very defendable as well. Pushing up this ramp is not going to be easy, so we fully wall up with tanks, with turrets, with sensor towers, with bunkers as well. Homeowner, his goal here is to slow the game down. What I would love to see out of Shameless upon seeing this Sky Toss, and there it is, Fleet Beacon has been finished. We have the mothership, we have Tempest production plus on air attack as well. This is the correct thing to do. Right now is not the time for Shameless to ape in. Right now is the time for him to embrace Sky Toss and be as efficient as possible. And here we go, the Tempest have arrived. Gets the first tank. But Shameless, sorry, Homeowner, he does have those Vikings. Vikings gonna be zoned away. Shameless, he has yet to reach critical mass of Sky Toss. But again, that's what he needs. He needs to embrace Tempest production, Archon, Storm, Stalkers. Needs that support for the Tempest themselves. Speaking of, there it is. Templar Archives on the way. That's going to be for the Archons and for Storm. And this will allow Homeowners to get into 3-base saturation. And to eventually max out. He's getting there. So Shameless needs to tech. Love to see like a 3rd Stargaze, like a 2nd Cybercore for double upgrades. For the Skytoss, I mean. Shield upgrades as well. And again, this is Romanticide. I mean, snipes the Tempest. Tempest goes down, but again, it's just really difficult to break a player on 3 bases. Vikings, they poke in, they shut down the Phoenix. Ooh, not quite. Phoenix gets away. Oh, does recall into the base. He's crazy. Does recall past the army into the main base, so he's at the throw zone. And Shameless, he's going for the dive. He's going for the production. Tanks are out of position. Oh, wreaks havoc here in the middle line. SMB's going to be going down. The Viking gun is reset. And Shameless, he just denies the late game. He's like, mate, you're not going to lock me into an hour-long game. Not this time. Not again. Light, he wants his food. Takes out all the tanks. GG. Good luck in the next round. And Shameless, he will take the series 3-1, advancing on into that next round. GG. Whew. Oh, my God. Yo, shout out to Shameless. I mean, he could have been forced into maxing out there with Sky Toss. He could have been forced into a longer game, but he says no. He recalls into the main. Let's go. GG. GG, well played, Shameless. He does take it. A big win here for Shameless, bringing down Honmono. And with that, we are now halfway through the broadcast. Here we go as we switch our seats over and catch up on today's matches. Again, if you've been tuning in maybe halfway through, may not be familiar, but we have 4 best of 5s here. Here we have day 1 of the OSC Season 12 Championship bracket. We had our first couple of TVPs. We had a Cure versus Creator. If you missed that, I recommend the VODs. It was a crazy back and forth and a very clutch series between Cure and Creator. Likewise, that led us into the series we just casted. Shameless versus Honmono goes the way of Shameless. So Cure advances on, Shameless advances on, and we have 2 matches left. We're gonna have a break from the TVPs and we have ZVPs instead. Wayne versus Classic and Young Yakov versus SKillous. Oh boy. 2 Zerg versus Protoss matches ahead of us. Because we're halfway through, we're going to be going in a short break. We're going to be going in a very short 5-minute break. When we come back, we'll have that Zerg versus Protoss. We'll have Wayne versus Classic ready for you after the break. Take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water. Get ready for the rest of the broadcast. See you soon. Oh, see you soon. welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the second half of the broadcast. Welcome back to the OSC Season 12 Championship Upper Bracket Round 1. We just wrapped up with our TVPs with Cure versus Creator, as well as Shameless versus Honmono, and now we have returned with our ZVPs. Here we go. We have some Korean on Foreigner action here. We have Classic versus Wayne ready for you in a best of 5. Let's go. Let us go. Again, Classic, he's been a little bit under the radar as of late. He's still been active, don't get me wrong. He's been active. He's been playing in a lot of online tournaments, especially over the past couple of weeks. But again, typically Classic has been having a harder time at making deeper and deeper runs in these tournaments. I want to say that like 2 weeks ago, Classic, he won the KSL. That is true. Classic, he was able to pop off, and he has had those good moments here and there, but for the most part, especially in the most modern era of StarCraft, he has been in the shadow of Hero. Like when we think about Korean Protosses, we think of Hero as the #1, of course, and Classic is, you know, perpetually behind him. And we'll see if Classic can bounce back. And again, coming into the 2025 circuit and 2025 season, I want to believe that Classic can, you know, maybe vie for that #1 spot once again. We'll see. We'll see if he can. As so far, we have our ZVP ahead of us. We're getting to game 1. It's going to be on King's Cove. Let's go. Let's go. When they make it into a movie, Pig will just move on to eating your portions of food while blankly watching. That was the joke. When we were casting, we were joking that when by the time we finished casting Pig, he would have left us nothing. He was just going to eat our food. Oh no. He's just watching us from the green room, just watching us, like, smiling as he eats. Not even blankly. It's sinister, Pappy. He liked it. He was laughing and eating all the food. Oh no. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But here we go. We're getting into our first series, and spawning in the bottom right corner of King's Cove, we have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg. It is Wayne. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss. It is a Classic. We go. Speaking of inactivity, Wayne has also been somewhat inactive as of late. I mean, I say that ever since the end of WTL and Starlight Twinkle did disband their pro roster, and Wayne did subsequently leave them. Wayne, he did kind of step away. He has been less active in online tournaments, especially during the off-season of EPT. It is only in December. Like, when I say off-season EPT, I'm referring to September, October, into November as well. Wayne wasn't really too active. He wasn't really playing in too much, and as a result, I would say that Young Yakov surpassed him. We saw the two face off in Firegrow Cup back in November, and Young Yakov was looking much more dominant and much more in form. But it was in the month of December that Wayne, I don't know what it was, but he was reinvigorated. Maybe, you know, during the holidays he had a little bit more free time, and Wayne, he was active once again. He's been soaring up when it comes to skill, regaining his skill, and once again claiming his place as one of the best Zerg players in all of Europe. So it's been great to see the return of Wayne, and as a result, I feel like these two are quite competitive with each other. I do think they're quite close in skill. We'll see how this goes. See how this does go. And now Classic just going to be opening up with a Gate Expand into Cybercore, standard opener out of our Protoss. Likewise, Wayne going Hatch Gas Pool. As the probe is forced back. From here, we should be getting into our tech of choice. I would imagine Stargate opener into a standard game state. Welcome one and all to King's Cove. King's Cove, of course, being one of the larger maps in the map pool. Very large map, long rushes to spy ground. And there it is. There is the Stargate. Let's go. Stargate's on the way, should be for an Oracle. Likewise, Wayne getting his third base up and running. So far, so good. Just saturating, just droning, just settling on in. No major signs of aggression yet. No major signs of tech. But again, when it comes to King's Cove, it is a map where you're very defendable on 3 bases. The 4th base is more exposed. We've seen a lot of fights and a lot of engagements centered around the 4th base locations. When it comes to containing a player on 3 bases and just punishing them and shutting them down, we'll see if we can get there here, though, in this matchup. As he does threaten the shade. Behind this, there's that Oracle opener. No Void Ray. Oracle across the map. Does thread in the shade towards the main. Just trying to keep tabs on the gases, on any hidden tech, on the saturation of Wayne. So far, so good. As the Overlord is being hunted down, Classic setting up for a third expansion. Wayne should not be able to punish a third base, so overall just a pretty passive standard start to the series here. Take King's Cove, no Ling Flood, no early tech. Standard build out of Classic, and this should lead into a Twilight Council and a Forge into +1 and Blink. We'll see if Classic does deviate. Likewise, Evo Chamber for Wayne. This fast Evo Chamber should be for a fast +1 melee into Ling Hydra. Typically, fast +1 range is just not really a thing, and with the melee upgrade, it allows you to skip roaches. So the goal here for Wayne is to skip roach production, potentially skip Banelings as well, and just go straight Ling Hydra into Lurker Tech. That's Classic. He's rotating between the bases. There's that melee upgrade that we spoke about. Likewise, across the map, Classic going for his Twilight Council and a Forge should be a standard +1 and Blink. Oracles, they get 2 drones so far. Not bad. 2 workers going down. Oracles, they are split. And Wayne, he is trying to keep up. Stays strapped into the main. Up. Wayne does notice. He pulls away. Does pull away in time. So far, Wayne is keeping up. Zones away the Oracle. Getting his 4th expansion. And still just droning. He is making a handful of Lings here just to be safe, just to be secure, as Adepts are moving out, so Lings are required. But again, nothing crazy here from Wayne. And we have confirmation, it is indeed +1 and Blink. So standard play here at a Classic, which means Wayne, he should get away with skipping roaches. Now we can see here at the 525 mark, a Roach Warden gets thrown down, but I believe this is just for safety. So if Classic was more aggressive, if this was charge instead of Blink, then we would need roaches 100%. So Wayne's just being safe. You want a nice surround. Surrounds the Adepts. The Adepts are going to get completely shut down. Adepts do full, stay strapped into the main base. So Wayne, a reaction. Ooh, late reaction here does pull away. Ooh, just in time. One worker gets caught. Another drone goes down. But no major losses. And now Wayne, he has dealt with the Adepts. He can go for a massive counterattack. And we'll see if Wayne does actually make roaches. I would imagine he would want to delay them and skip them and go straight into Hydras instead. Lair is on the way. Lings, they hit their 3rd base. Shield Battery's not ready. Likewise, Oracle's not quite in position. But Wayne doesn't commit. Doesn't commit yet. Just threatening a dive. But now droning up, saturating his bases, getting a 5th base as well. As you can see here, despite there being a lair, despite there being a Roach Warren, there are no roaches on the way. Getting to a macro hatch. Once the lair completes, we should be seeing our tech of choice, but we'll see. Keep an eye on Wayne. As Wayne, he confirms that Classic is expanding, is aware. Oh, going into +1 range behind this. Okay. Towards those range upgrades. Stalkers, they move out, but again, there's just so many Lings waiting for him. Like, Wayne has had a very comfortable start. 16 more Lings in production. Stays strapped towards natural. Up, does pull away. Getting only 2 workers caught out, but Wayne, he is going to be taking into roaches. Roach speed is on the way. A handful of roaches are being thrown down, and there is no Hydra Den. Not yet. So Wayne is actually going to be committing to an earlier move out. And Classic is trying to take it to Sky Toss. Uh-oh. Classic is taking up while Wayne is being aggressive. Lings, they come in for a pseudo surround. Decent positioning here by Classic. Leading out 2 Stalkers. That's a lot of Lings. A lot of Lings are being thrown away. But they take down a decent chunk of Stalkers. In the end, 5 Stalkers go down. That was a lot of Lings. That's 80. Jesus, 83 Lings. Oh my god. That's a lot of Lings. Some of these Stalkers are getting caught out. Roaches, they trickle in. Catching out more Stalkers. And again, behind this, the reinforcements are delayed. Slow loss and waddling in. Remember, Classic is working towards a Fleet Beacon, and Classic is not ready for this. He's getting caught out. He was expecting higher tech. I was expecting higher tech, but no. Just Roaches, just Lings, rattling everything across the map. Wayne is a 3-base all-in, cutting workers at 64. Knocks down the 4th. And he can keep pushing. He can keep going behind this. No shield battery. No charge, no nothing. Carrier production has begun, but carriers, they don't matter. They don't matter here. They're not helping. GG gets caught in Wayne. He snowballs out of control. He takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Wayne essentially going for a 3-base all-in. He cut worker production at 65 or at 64 and just sent it across the map. Again, I was expecting Wayne to go Lings into Hydras, into Lurker Tech, into Hive Tech. I'm sure Classic thought the same thing. He thought the same thing. He thought there weren't going to be any roaches. As a result, Classic, he rushed into Skytoss. He tried to, but he failed to, as a roach army came barreling down. I should say a roach Ling army came barreling down and caught Classic off guard. With that, Wayne takes the lead, and now we're jumping into game number 2. Let's go. Game 2 is going to be on Whispers of Gold. Only have one cool live S12 moment. I was at MLG Columbus, where the infamous Need More Chairs meme started. I almost met July Cirque there. Nice, nice. That's really cool to hear. For most of my StarCraft career, StarCraft history, I wasn't able to go to any like live events. Of course, being here in Australia, we're very limited. We have very limited live events. We had some local LANs, of course, which I did go to for the Australian scene, but nothing international. It was only last year that I was able to go to an international event for the first time. Went to IM Katowice, which was a great experience. It's a great experience. Being there for the first time, meeting everyone. It's good to see. Meeting fans IRL for the first time as well was very, was very interesting as an experience. But here we go. We're getting into game number 2 this morning in the top left-hand corner of Whispers of Gold. We have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg leading the series 1-0. It is Wayne. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss. It is Classic. Again, the pressure's on Classic to fight back and to make a series out of this. We'll see if he can. See if he can. As the probe moves out. Same in Ohio. MLG Columbus was basically the only close major S2 thing that ever happened. I see. Yeah, it's one of those things where, especially I guess internationally, I'm like, I mean, there's a lot of events in the Americas, but America is also a big place, so it's like, you know, if you're living on one coast and there's an event on the other coast, it's not as easy to just like travel and to go to that event and experience that. It's quite a journey to go from one end to the other, sort of thing. But yeah, that's very old school. It's been a long time since the MLG days. Long time. For a long time, my dream was always to go to a BlizzCon, but I mean, that's not that. There are no BlizzCons anymore, so I kind of missed out on that one. Feels bad, man. The other thing was I always wanted to go to a Pro League finals. Pro League is nothing anymore, but at least I got to an IM Katowice. Got that at least. As Wayne does take his third. Again, just hatch gas pull into a third base. Standard opener here out of Wayne. And likewise, Classic going for a gate expand into Cybercore. Stargate follow up here. Everything looking as it should. Again, when it came to the previous game, Classic just caught with his pants down. The pants were down. Classic, he was rushed. He assumed it was going to be a standard game. He rushed into Skytoss and he got caught out by an all-in. Here, what I will say, loading into Whispers of Gold, is that all-ins are favored on this map. You can be much more aggressive. This goes both ways. And that is not an Oracle. That is not a Voidry. That is a Phoenix opener. Hello. What's going on? What do you have for us? Let's go. Phoenix does pop out. Looking to hunt down those overlords. Of course, the Phoenix and the Void Ray have the same role here in this position, and it is to hunt down overlords and to deny vision, deny scouting from your opponent, and try to hide some tech, or at least pretend to hide tech. So we'll see what Classic can get done. It's going to be an Oracle follow-up as well. Classic should be expanding, but the question becomes, does he go for a standard follow with a Twilight Council and a Forge, or does he do something different? Where are we headed? What's going on? Too far to drive to the coast. US is pretty big. Yeah. Yeah. Speech. As the Overlord is being caught out. That's the second Overlord. Oracle gets across the map, getting a drone so far, getting one. Up, getting two. Two drone kills. Almost a third. Not bad. A couple of workers behind this. We have a 4:30 Roach Warren timing, very safe timing with the Roach Warren. This means that if this was Phoenix Oracle into Glaive Adepts, then Wayne would be fine. He would have Roaches to defend against that Adept aggression. But what's interesting is that the Roach Warren has been thrown down behind the mineral line. I'm curious if Wayne is setting up for an all-in. For now, he is droning, that is true, but is he going to cut worker production? Keep an eye on Wayne as he should be starting his lair momentarily. Behind this behind this Classic, taking in 2+1, Blink, Gateway Explosion, standard follow-up here out of Classic. Uh-oh, Roaches are amassing here, and Wayne is cutting workers at 44. He's going all in. He's going all in. Again, he has workers here at the third base, but this is a fake out. He doesn't even have full saturation at the natural. It is designed to kind of lure Classic in. And Classic is going to get caught out. Does dive into the main. Goes to the mineral line. Drone's going to be going down. Does get 3 workers, but he does not scout the natural. Oh, gets another drone. Not quite. As Wayne does defend. And Classic, he does not check the natural base. And here comes the all-in. The Queens are walking. The Roaches as well. We spoke about it, but all-ins are favored on Whispers of Gold. The rush distance by ground is very short, and these bases are exposed. He's going for it. He's going for the kill. And Classic, he does not see the army. He's still across the map. Does know what's going on. Lings have arrived. Looking at the surround. Blink is not done. Only halfway. Only halfway for Classic. Classic, he hasn't seen the Queens, the Roaches, or the Ravagers. And Wayne, he can try to bile down this front door. He can, and he will. Stalkers, they do poke in. Biles on the main army. Lings, they do flood through. They go for the mineral line. They go for the main. And the Stalkers, they get called out. Remember, there's no Blink. No! The Biles connect. The Stalkers go down. Massive pickups. And Classic, he's in trouble. GG gets called. There's nothing left. And Wayne takes a 2-0 lead in this best of 5. Mate. GG. 2 games in a row, catching Classic out with an all-in. And Classic, we need to calm down, Papi. We need to scout, need to figure out what's going on. Need to confirm saturation here. Classic is just getting ready for a standard for a normal game. But time and time again, he is denied. He just wants to play some StarCraft. He just wants the macro, Papi. He just wants the macro. And here we go. We're getting into game 3. Does the series end here and now with a 3-0, or does Classic bounce back? Game 3 is going to be here on Ultra Love. Let's go. Let us go. Again, Classic caught completely off guard. He was harassing with the Oracles in the main base. He did not see the move out, did not see the lack of saturation, did not see the lack of drones, did not see the army, the Queens, the Roaches. He saw nothing. And that leads us into game 3. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the red Zerg player leading the series 2-0, 1 game away from winning the entire best of 5. It is Wayne. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss. Down in the series. He has to fight back here and now to have a chance to force the ace match. It is Classic. We go. As welcome one and all to Ultra Love. Now, Ultra Love is an interesting map. The rush distance by ground is quite short on this map. That is true. It is short, so things like what we just saw, Roach Queen walks across the map, German taxis, all-ins can hit quite hard here on Ultra Love, but on the flip side, these bases are more defendable. the third base here, the fourth base, they are more defendable than Whispers of Gold, the map we just saw. We have a lot of choke points, we have a lot of ramps, we have a lot of points of elevation, we have a lot of potential here to defend despite having a smaller army defensively here on Ultra Love. So there's that give and take. You can also knock down this tower and just fully wall this area off by knocking down the tower, by buying time. So we'll see how our players do approach this. Shall see. As for now, we're calming things down, we're droning up. So far, standard build here out of Wayne, likewise standard build out of Classic. The pylon placement is interesting to me. Usually if this was a Stargate opener, the pylon would be closer here to the edge. Because it's further back, there's potential to hide tech. We'll see if that's the case. We'll see if he does decide to hide something or if it's just a Stargate. Nonetheless, we'll keep an eye on Classic. As back at home, we're just droning up, and yep, there it is, a Robo. Again, the pylon placement is usually a tell whether it's going to be a Stargate or something different, and because it's placement, it is something different. It's going to be a Robo instead. This can go a couple different ways. This can lead into a Soul Train, into like early Immortal production, alongside like a vanilla gateway army to just all in across the map with sentries, with force fields. This can also lead into a Disruptor drop. It's been a couple of months since I've seen a Disruptor drop, but this could lead into a Bay, into Warp Prism Speed, into Disruptors, into a drop across the map. If we were casting Astrea, I could say like Colossus drop as well, but these are two builds that I haven't seen in like 6 months. It's actually been a very long time since we've seen like a Colossus drop opener, so I'm leaning towards Immortal production instead. We'll see. As the gateway has been placed, we have a handful of links on the way here for Wayne, and yep, there it is, Immortal production. So it is going to be a 2-base all-in, early Immortal production into sentries, into a vanilla gateway all-in. Let's go. Classic is like, you want to all-in me? Nah, how all-in you, papi? Let's go. Let's go. As Wayne is moving out. Does move out across map. Geez, that's going to be a 7-gate setup, by the way. 8 gates, so it's going to be an 8-gate 2-base all-in. No gases. It's going to be slow lots. It's going to be a slow lot all-in here from Wayne. Sorry, from Classic. This is a build that Haas did invent. This was back in 2020, I want to say. Like 2020, 2021 era of StarCraft. Haas did bring this to the table for the first time back in EPT, Taiwan, Hong Kong. And it's been a while since we've seen it. I think we have seen Classic do this not too long ago. Like I want to say like a month or two ago, like November, December of last year. And here it is again. It's one of those things where, mate, you don't need charge when you're all in like this. Like the army comes to you. The slow lots, they're crazy. As the army has arrived, warping in across the map. Wayne is now back at home. He's just now finishing up the Roach Warren. Lings are amassing. He has to forego the third base. He needs some SimCity here in the natural. Does need SimCity. Without them, I mean, it's going to be difficult to hold on against this melee-based army. Here comes the warp in. Here come the slow lots. The slow lots all-in has arrived. Wayne engaging this ahead of time out in the open. This time less sure about. Yeah, queens are going down. Nice surround here on the Zealots. On the Stalker as well. Wayne kites back, losing another queen. But the Immortal is pushing through. Again, there are just so many slow lots. Roaches are amassing as well. And Classic is pushing forward. Getting on top of the army. Ooh, lost transfuse. Lings are coming from behind. They try to get us around. Queens are falling. And down to 2 queens. 2 queens left. Natch Jelligan with the Immortal, another warp in, and we overwhelm. GG gets called. There's just too many slow lots in the bases, and Classic will put a point on the board. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, the classic slow lot all in. Let's go. Again, when it comes to defending against this build, you need to almost take it like a charge-based all-in. You need to kite back to your natural. You need SimCity. You need to wall up. You need to create these choke points to reduce surface area. Otherwise, the Zealots, they're just going to have their way with your army. As we saw there, Wayne, he initially tried to engage out in the open, out in low ground. It was a brutal start to the fight, and in the process, Wayne, he lost 2 or 3 queens almost immediately with that GG. With that GG, well played. Ooh, Classic, he does fight back. And now we are getting ready here for our next game. It's going to be game number 4. It's going to be on Frostline. Now, so far, game 1, Wayne all-in, took game 1. Game 2, Wayne all-in, took game 2. Game 3, Classic all-in, took game 3. Game 4, who's going to all-in? Because wait, all-ins, they have a 100% win rate so far in this series. Let's go. Do we all-in each other? That's what I'm here for. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Frostline, we have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg leading the series 2-1, 1 game away from advancing on into the next round. It is Wayne. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player. We have the South Green Protoss fighting back, putting a point on the board. It is a Classic. She's that very Korean all-in. Taiwanese all-in, not Korean. Again, Haas did originate that build back in the early years of EPT. And when he did originate, it was very trendy. Like, everyone was like whipping it out after that. It was a scary time. Hello, Wayne. As he moves out with a drone, does move out across the map, heads towards the natural, going for a proxy hatch. Going for a hatch block, I should say. Let's go. Does rock up, hatch is going to be placed, and the goal here is to disrupt the build and delay the expansion of Classic, to force boys off the mineral line, to force out initial Zealot as well, to delay the build of the Protoss. Of course, the downside is that your own spawning pool and your own gas geysers are going to be later here from the side of Wayne, but overall it should be worth it here as Zealot is forced out and Classic does not pull the boys. No, he's going for he's crazy! He's going for the unnatural natural! I mean, this is a risky move here from Classic. Very risky, going for the unnatural natural. His natural base is going to be very exposed, and considering how aggressive Wayne has been, I mean, this is a risky maneuver. Now, of course, first things first, remember, delayed spawning pool, delayed gases, delayed link speed, so there's no like link flood that can threaten him. But if Wayne sees this, I can see Wayne going for a roach all in off of 2 bases or off of 3 bases. There's definitely potential for Wayne to punish this in a different way. Is potential. As the Overlord does poke in. Does check the natural. Stargate is going to be thrown down. So Classic opening up Stargate. Wayne is still unaware of what's occurred. The hatchery does complete. Queen is on the way. If he can pop out this queen, he can spread creep, but it's a little bit ambitious here from Wayne. As Lings have arrived, they do distract the Zealots. More Lings on the way. Can he save the expansion? With the help of the Adept, I don't think we should be able to. Oh. As Lings are going down. It's going to be close. More Lings popping out. Does want that Zealots. Falling back, the queen, it's barely got it. It's so close. Oh, it pops out. The queen has arrived. Zealot's going to be targeted, and again, we should be throwing down some tumors. Just to delay any kind of expansion here. There it is. Tumor has been placed. Adept is on the way. He wants the tumor. He wants it. Up. Up. Does get the shot. There we go. Does get the second shot. Whew. Takes down the tumor, which means no more creep, which means that Classic has held. Behind this, more Lings have arrived. Trying to knock down that front door. Oracle's on the way. Wayne, I believe he hasn't scouted yet. He still doesn't know what's going on. Still has no idea. Oracle is distracted. Going for the Adept. Uh-oh. Adept taking a lot of hits. Oracle takes down the Queen. Again, just a very chaotic game state here. As Lings are denied. And we need to take a moment. We need to take a moment here. So link speed is on the way. We do see that Wayne, he pulls out of gas, which means no early Roach Warren, no early Lair. Is droning up, setting up for Oracle defense, getting a third base. And Wayne has yet to really confirm the expansion. But he sees the he sees the perps. Now he knows. He sees the transfer, does see the Maynard. So now he should be aware of the expansion. But can he do anything about it? If he had known about it earlier, then those reinforcing links could have hit the third and could have tried to take down the pylon and delay the shield battery. There would have been potential. As Wayne is trying to confirm. Just now confirming. Oracle's making their way in. Towards the main. Wayne's trying to keep up. Spore's not quite done. Wayne, he will lose one drone. Lose two. Oh. Two drones going down. Some acceptable losses. Links to pop. They try to threaten the expansion. Classic does take an economic lead. And is taking his third. His third base is on the way. Links say cash on transferring workers, not bad. Once again, Classic does reinforce with a Phoenix. Hunting down the Overlords. Layers on the way for Wayne, and now we're just droning. We're just droning up, we're just saturating. We're playing this out. That is a 540 Roach Warren timing. I mean, again, the timings are really weird just because of the opener. They're very shaky. And for now, we're just getting into a macro game. We are just macroing up. Catching out 3, 4 more drones. Queen's out of position. Very nice damage dealt here by Classic. Hunting down another Overlord, but there's a transfuse. Oh! Oh, God. Transfuse just in time. The Phoenix! Phoenix overextends. Massive pickup. Phoenix does fall. And behind this, Classic is going for a 3-base all-in. Jesus. No Forge. There's no Forge. Twilight Council Blink. We have 6 gates on the way. 1 already done. It's going to be an 8-gate all-in. 7 so far. And we should be setting up a proxy. We should be setting up a proxy across the map as well. So it's all or nothing for Classic. Here comes a probe. Here comes the 8th gateway. I mean, we spoke about it, right? So far, all-ins have been dominating this series from both players. Setting up for the proxy. So from here, he can reinforce on the front lines. Wayne taking up. Evo Chambers on the way. Hydrogen as well. But he needs roaches and lings as quickly as possible. Because here comes the army. Okay, what does Wayne have? He's got 16 lings so far. Getting a 4th. Army is revealed. Roach production has begun. Wayne getting supply blocked. Massing up roaches. At least trying to. So far forcing back the army. More stalkers warping in. More pylons as well. Classic gets supply blocked. Oh god. Everyone gets supply. Wayne and Classic. Ay ay ay. They both break out. Stalkers are amassing. That's 4 more pylons on the way for a Classic. Ay, ay, ay. It's moving in. Does try to commit. Trading well against these roaches. Where's the link support? Where are the lings? Going Roach Hydra instead. Bold move. Remember, the longer this goes on, the better it is for Wayne. Wayne, he has a 4th base. He has extra larva. He has an economy. That's a lot of Link Stalkers. Classic goes for the dive. Takes down a Queen. Does catch a Queen. Wayne collapsing in. The Hydras, they do well in the back line. Baits out the Stasis. Stasis Trap is baited out. Another Stasis on the way. Likewise baited here on 1 Roach and 1 Ling. And Wayne is holding. He's barely holding on. Important to point out here that Wayne has been losing Roaches but not Hydras. You can see here not a single Hydra is going down yet. He needs that buffer. He needs that support for the Hydras. As Hydras are ideal in this position. Gas is on the way. Forge on the way. This sounds like Classic. He doesn't believe he can do it. He doesn't believe he can break Wayne. Classic is trying to transition. Trying to get out of this. But these upgrades are going to be late for Classic. Nice concave here from Wayne. Massing up his Hydras. A slow loss. They waddle in. They get shut down. And Classic's being forced back. Ducklings, they force the defensive warp in as well. Is that defensive warp in? Behind this, we should be seeing charge. He has +1 on the way at least. Classic trying to force his way through. Alas, Zealots go down. The Stalkers are still falling here. These are rough losses for Classic. He cannot afford this. Stalkers are going down left and right. And Classic is running out of steam. GG. And Wayne, he will take the series 3-1. He defends against the All-In. And Wayne will advance on over Classic. GG. Wayne, calm down. GG, well played. Again, as we saw, this All-In here from Classic, ideally there are no Hydras. Ideally it's either Ling Hydra or it's Ling Roach. We saw Roach Hydra here out of course, Wayne. He had some very nice engagements. The supply block did slow Classic down 100%. He was slowed down by it. And likewise, the size of the map wasn't helping too much as well. Better concave, better engagements here out of Wayne, able to just slow down that Stalker army ahead of time, able to pick away those Stalkers, preserve the Hydras. GG. GG, well played. And then Classic, he was all in. He was completely all in. He had no follow-up, he had no gases, he had no forge, no upgrades, no follow-up tech of any kind. It was purely 8-gauge Blink Stalker all in. And alas, in the end, Wayne takes it. GG. Very impressive here by Wayne. Does it claim the series? And that leads us into the final series of the night. Let's go. We have another ZVP ahead of us. It is going to be a best of 5 between SKillous and Young Yakov. Here we go. Have our next best of 5. Again, we have some of the best players here of the CIS region facing off and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Frostline. We have the red Protoss player representing Team Liquid. It is SKillous. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player. Hello. We have the blue Zerg. It is Young Yakov. Where are we going? What's going on? Hello. As Wayne, I mean, to be fair, here on Frostline, Wayne also went for a hatch block against Classic, and Young Yakov is doing the same. Hatch block here against SKillous, as the drone does move out and head out across the map. And again, Young Yakov has been improving so much here over the past 6 months. It's been insane to see the growth of Young Yakov in such a short period of time. Or I should say maybe the resurgence of Young Yakov. Basically, Young Yakov was very inactive. He was very inactive at the start of 2024 and the end of 2023. He wasn't really playing in too many tournaments. He wasn't really competing too much at all. If you recall, that is why he left the Platinum Heroes. He said himself that he didn't really feel too comfortable being on a team but not really playing at anything. So Young Yakov, he stepped away, he left the Platinum Heroes, but it was after he left the Platinum Heroes where Young Yakov, he started grinding again. I don't know what it was, I don't know what was the motivation, but he was back on that grind, and Young Yakov, he showed up real fast, real quick in the second half of 2024, post-EWC. I mentioned before, he was even threatening Wayne as, you know, taking his place at the top of the Zerg race at the when it comes to the CIS region, was threatening him. And we'll always remember Firegrow Cup for November. So now the hatchery has in place. SKillous, he does pull the boys. He will force a cancel on the hatchery, but this is doing damage. This is denying mining time here. Evo chamber behind this as well, just to delay even further. As unlike Classic, SKillous, he will not expand elsewhere. He will not allow the hatchery to finish. So again, a much more decisive and secure response here applies SKillous. Denies the hatchery, gets a kill on the drone, and now he can expand himself. Now, the downside here, of course, is, I mean, there's a lot that's just happened. On the one hand, SKillous, he denies the hatchery. He can now expand freely here on location, but he is delayed and he lost mining time. At the same time, because of this probe, he does force the unnatural natural out of Young Yakov. And again, Young Yakov's own build is also delayed as well. The hatchery is late. He went for a gas and pool before expanding. So earlier gases, early link speed, and he's staying in gas. Uh-oh. He is staying in gas, and this must be for either 3 different things. Fast Roach Warren, fast Baneliness, fast Lair. Like, you do not mine gas this early on without good reason. What's it going to be? Baneliness, Bane Bus. He's going for the Bane Bus. Let's go! The Bane Bus is upon us, and he's massing up Lings and still mining gas. And SKillous, he needs to scout. He needs to get into the main. Seeing gas mining is a massive tell. Does shade in. Does threaten the shade. Slipping into the mineral line, going for the drones, getting 1 and getting 2, and he sees everything. SKillous, he knows. He sees the gases, sees the Baneliness as well, gets 5 drones. Jesus Christ, 6? 7? Oh, not quite, but 6 drones go down. Massive pickups. And this all-in has been delayed. It has been stifled. It is going to be slowed down. Back at home, we do see shield batteries on the way. SKillous is trying to set up. I'm loving the movement here with the Lings, trying to deny the wall, but not able to. The gateway is thrown down. The gateway is going to be targeted here. Lings against the gateway. It's going to be focused down. It's going to be canceled. That's a kill. That's a kill, not a cancel. Going for the second gateway. Another cancel. But the shield batteries are about to finish just in time. Saves the adept. The Banelings are waddling in. Looking to knock down these shield batteries. They waddle in. They crash into the pylons. They shut them down. Everything gets depowered. Warp gate gets denied. Do we have a gateway? No gateway. No gateway, but there is an oracle. Is it enough, though? As again, we're just working with energy. Lings, they flood in. 5 probe kills. Busting into the main. Nice stutter stepping here by SKillous. But again, Young Yakov, what may just have just won him the game was denying that wall. Like, the patrolling Lings was so good. Denying the gateway for as long as possible. Allowed it to be focused out without Banelings. Lings at the natural once again. Second Oracle has arrived. With the second Oracle, GG gets called. SKillous, he holds. He shuts down the Lings. He fully walls off. And he survives. GG. Whew, oh my god. GG, well played. SKillous, he does hold on. Very nice done. Cleaned up all the Lings, defended the natural, and of course held on 2 bases. Did have a worker advantage. He had 23 probes to the 14 workers of Young Yakov. He was completely all in. And with that, SKillous takes a lead. Here we go. SKillous does take a lead. And now we're getting into the second game. We're going to be loading into a much larger map here in the map pool. We're going to be loading into Neon Violet Square. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Neon Violet Square, we have the red Protoss player, representing Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0. It is SKillous. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player. Down in the series, we'll see you bounce back. It is Young Yakov. Here we go. And welcome one and all to Neon Violet Square. This is the largest map in the map pool. Very large map, very long resistance by ground. As a result, it is very common here to see greedy builds rushing into the natural, into the 3rd base, into the 4th base, walling up, and embracing Sky Toss is the name of the game here on Neon Violet Square. Likewise, should be the case for Young Yakov as well, as he is rushing into the gold. Let's go. You don't get greedier than that. So the gold base is being prioritized. Now, typically, when a Zerg player takes this gold, it is for an all-in. It is for an all-in. You don't take this base to end up in a more economic game state. It is to be hyper-aggressive, take advantage of the gold, and send it across the map with an all-in. Now, we'll see if Young Yakov can pull this off. Gas geyser is being taken, so it's going to be hatch gas pull. Standard opener outside of the fact that it is a gold. And right now, the pressure, the onus is on SKillous to confirm, to scout what exactly is happening. Now, SKillous, he dips into the main. He should soon head towards the natural to block the expansion, and after a couple of seconds, he should realize, hold up, there is no drone, there is no expansion, what's going on, and he needs to check. He'll most likely check the pocket base, then the gold. As for now, SKillous is being as annoying as possible. Ooh, he should have seen the Maynard. That is a tell. As Jan Jakov, he does Maynard over. I'm not sure if SKillous noticed, but he should see the lack of saturation here. And back at home, standard opener. Gate expanded to Cybercore. Like, again, this probe movement isn't really doing much, to be honest. Not when there's lack of saturation here. As the probe does move down. SKillous heat checks the natural, confirms nothing here. And where does he check? Where does he check? So far, he's on patrol. Looking for the expansion. Behind the Stargate opener. Stargate is on the way. Lings have arrived. And we should be going for an Oracle. As the first adept does move out across the map. SKillous, he should be... Yeah, there we go. He's checking the gold. Thankfully, he's checking the gold base. SKillous, he's aware that something is wrong. We'll check. We'll get eyes on the saturation. And we'll see if he can stop it. Oh my god. Clutch spores. 2 more fin 2, but 1 drone is not going to go down. Once again, good movement here by Jan Jakov. He defends, doesn't lose a single drone. Very nice defense. And SKillous is forced back. SKillous is being forced back. Once again, shading in. Oh, 2 adepts taking 1-shot drones. They can and they will. They get 1. They get up to 2. Not quite. Once again, clutch sport. Very nicely done. Losing 1 drone only. 1 drone goes down. Jan Jakov, he defends. And behind this, he is not pulling back into gas. He is getting another expansion for Larva. But we'll see where he goes from here. As for now, Jan Jakov is still trying to maintain the base. Maintain the economy. Oracle rotates. Gets a drone. Gets 1. Gets 1 worker. Oracle gets forced back. SKillous going for his own gold. Let's go. How do you beat a gold? You take your own. SKillous rushing to the gold base as well. Bold move out of SKillous, and Jan Jakov, he cannot let this get up and running. He needs to deny it. Is getting another gas geyser. Does saturate the gas in his main. I would imagine this is for a lair. Not for a Bane bust. As the Oracle is deflected. Roach Warren has been placed. Likewise, Overlord trying to get a read on what's going on. Does get eyes on the Twilight Council. Twilight Council is spotted. Overlord forced back. That's a kill. Overlord goes down. From here, we'll see what SKillous can get done as he's getting into his gateway explosion, and it looks like an AK3 base all in. How many gates so far? 6 gateways. We'll see if he throws down 2 more. No gases at the 3rd. Of course, he has the gold income, of course, boosting him. Overlord speed on the way. It's going to be a drop load all in. It's going to be a German taxi. It's going to be a Ling Queen drop load all in here from Jan Jakov. Does he hit in time? Adepts have arrived. Going for the Queens. Lings, they make it here just in time. Okay, protect the middle line. 5 probes going down. Roaches are amassing. Lair is now done, and where are the Dropper Lords? Still snipe the Oracle. Queens are welding across. There we go. Drop Lords are now morphing in. A little bit late, but they're coming. And here comes the all-in. Here comes Jan Jakov. With the Queens, with the Roaches, with the Lings. The German taxi has arrived. Soon to be, I should say. It's running a little bit late. Here they come. We need them. As he is moving out. Drop Lords being left behind. Queen gets caught out. Massive pickup. 1 Queen falls. And where are the Dropper Lords? We need them. Oh my god. As SKillous, he shuts down the army ahead of time. Remember, SKillous, he was going for his own aggressive build into Mass Blink Stalker, catching out the roaches. They get caught out in the pitching machine. They get caught out. Roach is going to be picked up one after the other. La pachinko. As roaches are falling. And Young Yakov, yeah, this all-in has kind of fallen on its face here. It does have a large army, though. And who beats who? Which all-in is stronger? As against SKillous, he has no forge, no upgrades, no tech, no nothing, no gases. Just purely Blink Stalker. Takes down the Ravagers one after the other. Massive pickoffs. Stasis goes up. And Young Yakov, he's running out of steam. He's running out of army. Now going for the Drop Lord harass. This does feel very late. And Young Yakov, he's vulnerable. Stalkers, they push in. Trying to catch a couple units. Wings are falling. Roaches are exposed. SKillous, he can dive on the army. Picking up roaches. Picking up roaches. Going for the expansion. Ooh, piles do connect. But SKillous, he should be able to break this location. Should be able to. As he moves in, gets a queen. Roaches have been building up massive stasis. Oh my god, stasis goes up at the same time. Link drop here across the map. One drop lord goes down. Oh my god, massive pickup. And then one drop lord makes it through. And so far, SKillous, he's all over this. Link drop into the main. SKillous, does he have a defensive warp in? He does. Does warp in back at home. Likewise, catching out the queens, he gets one. And the hatchery, it's so low. It's so very low. Can he get it? Taking more bases. Things are building up. I mean, the longer this goes on, I want to say the better it's going to be for Young Yakov. As he's building up his Ravager count, building up his Queen count. SKillous, he's going to be outscaled over time. That's catches here by Young Yakov. He saved the expansion. I didn't think that would happen. Uh-oh. Did save the base. Moving forward. Starting back the Stalkers. SKillous once again attempting to expand. Getting a 4th base transition, going into 1-1 upgrades and charge lots. Throwing down more gates as well. SKillous committing to a Swarm Toss composition. Meanwhile, Young Yakov is stuck on Ling Roach Ravager. 0 upgrades for Young Yakov as he was going for his own all-in, if you remember. So over time, Young Yakov is going to be outscaled by those upgrades. 4th base getting fully saturated. SKillous, he's ahead in economy. Ahead when it comes to tech. Has a massive army. As SKillous, he should still pull this off. He's moving out. Does move out. He runs into the roaches. Oh my god. Yeah, they run into each other. And Young Yakov is fighting with only half his army. Yeah, he's getting caught out. All these roaches, they're going to crumble. Young Yakov losing everything here. And the other half of the army moving out for a counterattack. But again, this is benefiting SKillous. Ooh, massive stasis goes off. And Young Yakov is just falling apart. He's just getting picked apart at this point. Losing his roaches, getting caught by the stasis. Files, they connect. But the Stalkers are racing back home. And this is an expensive army. The Ravagers getting caught out as well. And SKillous, he's snowballing out of control. He just shuts down the main army completely. GG gets called, and SKillous takes game number 2. GG. SKillous, he extends his lead in the series. And as we said, Lynn, a big shout out to Hero to Zero 0811. Thank you so much, Pappy. God, thank you so much for subscribing for the first time with Twitch Prime. Thank you, Pappy. Thank you. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the subscription. Hope you enjoy the emotes. Hope you enjoy the replay packs. Hope you enjoy the content, the casting, and the StarCraft. Thank you, Pappy. Thank you. Do appreciate the support. If you want access to those replays, then join our Discord server, and of course, connect your Discord account to your Twitch, and you will gain access to a subscriber-only channel for replays. We got you. We got you if you want those replays. Otherwise, GG, well played. As SKillous, he is up 2-0. One more game is all he needs to claim the series. Young Yakov has been hyper aggressive this series, going for all-in after all-in, aggressive build after aggressive build. To be fair, SKillous also went for an all-in here in game 2. Did also go for his own goal base into just mass blink stalker, but he did outscale his opponent, did just have more efficient fights, more efficient trades, more efficient engagements overall, and did shut Young Yakov down. But now we're getting into game number 3. Going to be loading into ley lines. Let us go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of ley lines, we have the red Protoss player representing Team Liquid, leading the series 2-0, one game away from claiming the entire series. It is SKillous. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Zerg player. The blue Zerg down heavily in this series. Can he bounce back? And can he make a series out of this? It is Young Yakov. We go. As we're calming things down, we do have a 15 hatch opener here out of our Zerg player. Out of Young Yakov. Goes to the 15 hatch. Into, I would imagine, gas pool. Of course, with this timing, with this opener, does allow Young Yakov to expand freely here at the natural. He's not forced to expand elsewhere by the probe. And the question becomes, what kind of all-in do we see this time? Like these PvZs tonight have been very aggressive. They've been very aggressive, very committed. As Young Yakov does go hatch gas pool. Standard opener. Likewise, SKillous going for the gate expand into Cybercore as well. Everything looking as it should. Now, of course, SKillous did show us a more aggressive side last game, but coming into ley lines, I would imagine SKillous going for something more standard. I don't expect another, 8k3 base all-in. I don't expect that 2 games in a row. From the side of Young Yakov, I do favor aggression here, though, on ley lines. Ley lines, the rush distance by ground is shorter than that of Neon Violet Square, so shorter rush distance. Likewise, there are some exposed areas where you can have a better angle of attack and try to push in and try to commit. Or we could see something crazy and we could see a standard game. I know, blasphemy. But we could see Young Yakov just take a third base, drone up, get a fourth, take gases, throw down like a Hydra Den, get into Ling Hydra or Roach Hydra. We could see some macro. It's possible. It's possible. Meanwhile, shout out to Blake. Oh my, Blakerdoos. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pappy. Thank you so much for the support. As always, Blakerdoos, one of the bigger supporters on the channel. Thank you. Do always appreciate it. Donating $20, 20 USD to the channel. Thank you so much. It's thanks to the support that we get on the channel that we're able to, again, cast as often as we do. Again, we cast StarCraft on a daily basis, 2 times a day, every single day. We cast more than any other channel in StarCraft. So thank you. We appreciate it. We do what we can. Ah. Gracias. Thank you for being awesome. We try. As for now, Stargate into Oracle. Standard opener here by SKillous. It is going to be that standard opener. Meanwhile, we do see Young Yakov just droning for now. For now, he's just droning up, getting a third base. Everything is looking normal for the time being. I want to emphasize looking just because we have all into every game so far, so I want to hedge my bets a little bit. don't want to commit too hard and be like, yo, we're getting a 4, getting into the mid game, crazy. We're not there yet. Fast Evo Chamber out of Young Yakov. This bodes well. What does a Fast Evo Chamber mean? It means +1. It means +1 melee specifically. So this should be +1 melee into Lings, into what should be Ling Hydra, into the mid game. This looks like a macro build. Let's go. Meanwhile, that's the Twilight Council. That's the Twilight Council as the third base hits place. SKillous is being aggressive. SKillous, he's being the aggressor this time. He's going for an earlier Twilight Council. He's going for delayed Forge, delayed upgrades into either faster Blink or potentially faster Glaive Adepts. Show us what you got. So a much more aggressive build here by SKillous. Lings they poke in. There's that +1 melee that we did speak on. Again, typically +1 melee into Hydras. Lings Sage go for the dive. They catch the Adept. Nice pickoff. Adept goes down. Oracle's across the map. Ooh, the Oracle does fall. Massive pickoff. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, SKillous getting a little bit too greedy here. Will lose a pylon. Stay. Oh my, speaking of greed, the stasis goes off. I assume young Yakov noticed. Takes a massive stasis to the face. But that's a Baneling nest here. So young Yakov, he's going to be opening up Ling Bane. I believe he should not be going for a Bane bust. I believe we should be seeing a lair, but no lair yet. We should be seeing one soon. As young Yakov, he is... I'm seeing more Lings. I'm seeing more Lings. I'm seeing a time with +1. I'm seeing a time with a Baneling nest. No lair whatsoever. Are we going for a Bane bust? Oh, I think we are. Yeah, young Yakov, he's hiding his Lings. He's going all in. Of course he is. See, that's my bad. See, when I saw the +1 melee, I was like, mate, he's playing macro. He's crazy. He's going to drone. He's going to take more bases. He's going to get a lair. Nah. Who am I thinking? It's young Yakov, baby. How could I think that? True. I'm crazy. Okay. So it's a main bus. It's all in. 24 Lings in production here, +1 melee about to finish, and we do see SKillous. He's poking in the center of the map. Little does he know that an all-in is coming his way. Back into what is the defend. There's one shield battery here at the third. No shield battery here at the natural whatsoever. Banelings are morphing in, and here comes the bust. We do see Mass Queen to defend back at home with a handful of Lings. And Yakov, he's holding his own. Is defending. Ooh, there is no blink. Uh-oh. No blink. It's SKillous. He overextends. Does overextend. Massive pick off Stalkers. They go down. Here comes the bus. Breaks through the front door and slipping into the mineral line. Banelings, they do crash in. Ooh, massive connection. 14 probes go down. And SKillous, he's racing back home. The natural has been broken. More Lings rallying towards the third. And SKillous, he already lost most of his army. He barely has anything to work with. He's down to a handful of Stalkers. And young Yakov, he's not stopping. He's just rallying across the map, sending everything he can. Pole position micro here in the middle line. Takes down the shield battery. Oracle doing what it can. Is helping, don't get me wrong. But once again, nice pole position micro, killing 28 probes. Ay, ay, ay. Is fortified under the Oracle, which is less than ideal. But does get 30 probe kills. From here, young Yakov, he pulls away, and now he techs up. We have +1 range on the way. Lair is on the way. This should be for Ling Hydra. But the tech is quite late, and SKillous, he's still hanging in there. He is down in workers, that is true. Did sustain a lot of damage, and he lost a lot of Stalkers as well. But SKillous, he can fight back. He is moving out, takes down the tumor. Catches an Overlord. Pushing in towards the 5th. At the same time, Ling run by here at the 3rd base. There's no shield battery. Uh-oh. No shield battery to defend. 5th base is denied. The force field is buying time. Meanwhile, SKillous diving into the main. Going for the lair. The lair is going to be focused down. The lair is going to fall. There's no saving it. Up, transfuse. The transfuse. Oh my god, just in time. Saves Expo. Doesn't save for too much longer. The hydrogen is thrown down. But the lair falls back at home. He gets broken. GG gets called. And young Yakov, he will take game number 3, putting a point on the board. Whew. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Young Yakov, he pulls off the hidden and surprise Bane bust. Again, young SKillous, he was getting ready for a longer game. He was macroing, he was getting his 3rd base, being active on the map. He got caught with his pants down. SKillous, he lost like 8 or 9 Stalkers out on the map. And of course, he was caught off guard by the Bane bust. In the end, it was forced all in, but as he was moving out, we had Lings hitting the 3rd base for a 2nd time. GG. GG, well played. Young Yakov, he has a chance here to force the ace match. Let's go. As our next game, we're going to be loading into El Dorado. As a reminder, these are best of 5s, so we're able to experience some of these otherwise unorthodox maps. As we load in to the gold. And spawning. In the bottom left-hand corner of El Dorado, we have the red Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Team Liquid, still 1 game away from claiming the series. Can he take it? Can he fight back? It is SKillous. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zurich player down in the series, but he does fight back. He does make a series out of this, and he needs one more game to force the ace match. It is young Yakov. Here we go. As this time there is no extractor trick. This time young Yakov, his natural is going to be denied. And young Yakov is going to be forced to expand at the unnatural location. So nice little start here for SKillous. Oh, the pro moves away, which means young Yakov, he abandons his position and he goes for a later expansion, but it is on, or it is in location, in a much more safer location, I should say. So delayed expand, but it is here at the natural. So it could be worse. From here is going to be hatch gas pool. And now we can talk about the map itself. Of course, welcome one and all to El Dorado. This is one of the more unique maps in the map pool. There are mineral walls to be mined through here in the center, here towards the natural base as well. And if you mine through these patches, you gain access to the southern half of the map, where you can expand towards your opponent. You can take the gold base as well. You can take the other center gold base, or at least fight for it. And you can snowball out of control with the gold base income. Likewise, there are ways to punish this. As you can see here over on the other side of the mineral wall, you can punish mining, you can try to maintain control of the economy. Likewise, instead we could try to expand towards the top side and have a longer game state instead. We have options. Another big feature of this map is the short rush distance by ground. If both players expand towards each other, all-ins can be very effective and very much so they can just hit harder. They can be improved and boosted if they expand towards each other. And likewise, the rush distance by air, also very short. We've seen a lot of Protoss players rush into Skytoss, rush into Tempest on this map. So that is a viable option here on El Dorado, as young Yakov, he is mining through those patches and expanding towards the south. He's expanding towards his opponent. We'll see if SKillous does the same. Shall see. I mean, based on how aggressive young Yakov has been this series, I would not be opposed to SKillous expanding linearly instead and going for the vertical base as opposed to the triangular base. I think that would make sense here for SKillous, just to be safe. But we'll see, because he himself might want to be aggressive instead. We shall see. SKillous, he does shade past the main army in towards the third. Does spot what's going on. Is aware of the base. Is aware of the expansion. Up. Not quite catching the drone. And behind this, we're just focusing on our economies. Oracle's on the way. We have confirmation. SKillous is expanding towards the top side instead, expanding away from his opponent. So much safer location, much safer expansion. Likewise, Adept gets surrounded. Nice catch here by young Yakov. Shuts down the Adept. SKillous does attempt to punish. Gets one, he gets two lings. Up. Not quite getting the third. And as the Nexus is halfway done, we have a Twilight Council. Now, this is a later Twilight Council than previously, so this should just be Twilight Council. I was going to say into a forge, but where's the forge? What's going on? And no forge here from SKillous. This looks like fast blink. This looks like potentially a three-way all-in. This could be one of two things, either Blink or Glaive Adepts. But I feel like the Twilight Council would have been a little bit earlier, a little bit sooner if this was Glaives, so I'm leaning more towards Blink instead. Yep, there it is, Blink. And the reason why I say this is an all-in, no forge, no upgrades whatsoever, just gateways on the way. Oracle gets across the map, gets a drone, gets one, gets two. Not bad. Catches a couple of workers. We'll keep an eye on the gateway count here of SKillous. Getting up to 6 gates. That's a lot of gateways. And we need 2 more. We're waiting for a 7th and an 8th gateway. Now, the 8th gateway should be a proxy across the map to reinforce as a proxy location. So SKillous is gearing up. Throwing down more gates, warping in more stalkers, and getting ready to kill his opponents. Yeah, here comes the probe. Here comes the proxy. So we have confirmation it is an 8-gate 3-base all-in here from SKillous, with Link Stalkers, of course. Back at home, Young Yakov, he is droning. He's teching as well into Hydras. Still making more workers, but alas, Young Yakov, he does need more time here. He needs more time, he needs more roaches. Getting up to 3-base saturation, which I think is okay. Does spot the pylon, that's a tell. He knows. Now Young Yakov knows there's a function gateway. Young Yakov setting up, massing up lings, massing up roaches. This tech into Hydras is, I feel, a little bit greedy here. We'll see if we can get away with it. I mean, SKillous still needs more time to get this gateway up and running. Young Yakov gearing up a larger army. Massing up Hydras as we speak. He cannot afford to lose these Hydras, as they're going to be the backbone of Young Yakov's army. Stalkers a poke in. The third base is very exposed. It's wide open. And again, the rush distance by ground is very short here on this map as well. That's why we mentioned earlier that all-ins are favored on El Dorado. Roach is getting picked up. Queens as well. Young Yakov has to back up. Reinforcing with Hydras. A couple of Hydras have arrived. Now he can try to engage. Oh, stasis goes up. Massive stasis. Does catch all the lings. Without any lings, the roaches are exposed. The army is vulnerable. Blinks in. Takes out some of the Hydras. He gets one, he gets two, he gets three. 3 Hydras go down. Massive pickoffs. 4th Hydra goes down. And we spoke about it. We cannot afford to lose these Hydras. Not like this. Very nice target firing out of SKillous. Falling back, warping in. 6 Stalkers at a time. He will have extra warp-ins. Going to the stasis. SKillous, he has an abundance of minerals actually. He only has he's missing a gateway. SKillous, he's missing a gateway. Likewise, can reinforce with zealots. Regardless, SKillous pushing in, still trading well. Not really spending his money too efficiently, but it's fine. Jesus. There we go. Taking extra gases back at home. Gases are on the way. Oh. Lings, they do threaten the pylon. Young Yakov buying time, building up more Hydras. He's holding. He is holding on. And we do see SKillous, he's transitioning. Charge on the way. Double Forge. Mass pylon. SKillous, he is not... I mean, he doesn't believe he can kill his opponents. He gets supply blocked. Yeah, brutal supply block. Pylon goes down. SKillous, he's running out of steam. The Hydra cannon's getting larger. And Young Yakov is holding. Oh, losing a queen though. Queen goes down. Young Yakov here extends. Oh, it's losing another queen. As time goes on, Young Yakov, he should be droning. He's squeezing out a couple of workers. But now is the time to drone. To heavily drone up. He's making 20 more lings, actually. Jesus Christ. Making more lings. SKillous, he rotates over. He gets spotted by the tumor. Young Yakov, he has to respond. Lay response. Hatchery's exposed. He's going to lose the 4th base. Massive pickup. Yeah, one more volley. 4th base goes down. And SKillous, he blinks away. And brutal loss there for Young Yakov. He was out of position. Does trade nicely when the army's to engage. Like, again, this army trades well. He just has to fight. Catching out more Stalkers. SKillous splitting out more units. Does split out more Stalkers. He's racing back home, getting his own 4th base. And Yakov is here to deny it, to knock it down. As he is moving forward. Going for the expansion. Going for the Stalkers even. And he ignores the base. Going for the kill. Denies the stasis trap. But that's 4 shield bodies finishing up. Can he break through? So far trading well. Star steps forward. Takes down the Stalkers. Takes down the Oracles. Works towards the mineral line. SKillous, he is in trouble. But Young Yakov is running out of reinforcements. He's backing up. Ravagers are being targeted down. That's a lot of Stalkers. 33. 33 Stalkers. That's crazy. Then Yakov, he bleeds out some lings, but he should kill the expansion. Yeah, there's no saving this. Fourth base goes down. Where's the fourth of Young Yakov? This is late. He should have been expanding. Young Yakov, he had 700 minerals in the bank. This base is very late. He should have had it by now. That's being forced back. Zealous, they do distract the main army. SKillous, he's still in this. 3 base versus 3 base. This shouldn't be happening, but I mean, again, the economies are, I would say, in favor of SKillous. And he can deny the 4th base again. He can deny it. And are we just going for a base trade? The base is going to be denied. Young Yakov, he turns around. At the same time, denying the 4th base of SKillous. But if we're stuck on 3 bases, I do favor SKillous here. Denies +1, recalls back home. Recalls just in time. Now he punishes the counterattack. Yakov has to get the hell out of here. Pulling away. SKillous with the intercept. At least trying to. Catching out more Hydra. Still a very tense game state. Still very tense. 4th base being retaken. And Yakov stutter stepping in. Does stutter step forward. And Yakov building up a larger army, but again, it is a more inflated supply here with these roaches. Storm is on the way. SKillous has High Templar. He has 4 High Templar. Soon to be with 4 Storms. Storm is finishing up in 10 seconds. He has a concave. He has a high ground. 5 seconds away. Young Yakov, he did spot the High Templar. He's aware. Oh, a bit of an awkward retreat. Getting caught out here at the choke point. Hydra's going to be falling. SKillous, he backs up. Tells back up. Young Yakov, he still doesn't have a 4th base. Where's the expansion? At least take the gold. Lurkers have morphed in. The army comes from behind. Oh my god, no detection. No detection whatsoever. Stalkers, they take massive hits. The Templar, no storms. Oh my god, massive pickoffs. And Young Yakov, he's going for the kill. Busts into the natural. Stutter steps forward, takes the storm to the face. But SKillous, he lost so much in the process. Lurkers, they're coming in from behind. They're getting caught out. Uh-oh. Bit of a missed rally here. Lurkers, they are caught. They do burrow. Hydras are going down. SKillous, he defends. He shuts out all the Hydras. Yeah, a bit of a blundered attack here from Young Yakov. No shot is the detection. Lurkers are going to be forced back. Okay, 1, 2, up. Almost 3 Lurkers. No detection. SKillous, he retreats. Does pivot away. Observer comes in. The Lurker count gets completely reset. Young Yakov, he had a massive lead. He had a massive advantage. He's losing everything. The Lurkers, the Hydras, just a blundered assault here at the natural. SKillous, he's fighting back. No shot. His 4th base is up and running. And remember, Young Yakov, he never got a 4th. He never got a 4th expansion. Ay, ay, ay. Stalkers, they dive in. For now, they're going to be deflected. Roach Hydra. They hit the 4th base. Denying mining. 8 probes going down. Very nice counterattack. But again, the Lurker count was reset. Oof. Roach is going down. I mean, the harass was successful, getting 13 probes. Still a very scrappy game state. As SKillous, he does hold onto the 4th base. War Prism has arrived. He's trading with the army. At least trying to. He's attempting to trade. So far, Young Yakov, he keeps up. He does zone SKillous away. Does zone him back. Young Yakov going straight for the natural, just beating him home. Going for the mineral lines as well. Slipping into the main. Oh. So now he's being forced back. Lings a bust into the mineral line at the same time. Zell terracing across the map for Young Yakov. He's racing back home. Ace still doesn't have a fourth. He needs a base. He needs an expansion. Catches the War Prism. Nicely done. War Prism goes down. Lings, they get 2 probes in the main, but not much else. Where the High Templar? Oh, there they are. I was like, I knew they was somewhere. 3 High Templar in the center. They have 3 storms. Once again, Young Yakov going for a run by. There is no shield battery. Uh-oh. Storm goes up. Storm does zone Young Yakov away. Lings, they hit the expansion. Probes going down. Getting 2 workers so far. Forcing a defensive warp in. SKillous, he commits. Lurkers are morphing in, but they're not ready. Young Yakov needs more time. Lurkers, they're barely not ready. Storm goes up, grazes the army. Nothing too major yet. Better trades for Young Yakov. Takes out 2 Stalkers. Meanwhile, at the same time, the 4th base, he can't get it up and running. It's not happening. Lurkers, they defend. They shut down the Stalkers. He has to respond. The base is getting low, and he saves it. Barely saves the expansion. He needs to get a saturated Zelte bust into the main. Main base running out of resources. The Prism did warp in. And Young Yakov getting pulled apart. Templar headed for the mineral line. Oh my god. Going for the Lurker. Lurker goes down. Zelts in the main base being cleaned up. Prism does fall. Yakov, he's holding. But the 4th base, this is what's important. The 4th bases are getting up and running for both players. The Zealots, they're going for the kill. They're going for the right. They just collapse here on top of the hatchery. No transfused. Hatchery goes down. Young Yakov just wants to expand. He just can't get a 4th. And with that SKillous, he has a better economy. He's on 4 bases. Full saturation. SKillous, he can now outscale Young Yakov. It's been a very scrappy back and forth. More Lurkers are morphing in, true. I do favor the Lurker-based composition. And Yakov is rebuilding the 4th. And he has to do something about the economy here of SKillous. There's a Void Ray in position, a couple of Zealots. Shield battery, sorry, cannons on the way. And again, something needs to be done here. Yakov pushing to the center. Hive? Oh no, Lurker, Lair, okay. No, yeah, Hive, oh my god. Hive is on the way. Getting into, I would imagine, the Lurker upgrades. Meanwhile, that's a mass amount of Archons. And we need the Lurkers to defend. Yeah, Lurkers out of position. Young Yakov is racing over. As Lurkers are not quite where they need to be. The base is exposed. And just like that, Young Yakov caught with his pants down. The Lurkers, they needed to be here. And without the Lurkers, the base is going to fall. Massive pickup. Young Yakov, I mean, he doesn't have a 4th, but he doesn't have a 3rd, let alone a 4th. He's stuck on a 2-base economy, on a 1-base economy, really. Half a base. A quarter of a base economy. Lurkers, they go for a counterattack. They hit the 4th. Oh, High Templar, they move command in. Uh-oh. No more storms. High Templar, they get thrown away. Mining is denied at the 4th. Young Yakov rotates over. The armor supplies are still quite comparable. Yakov, he can still take a fight. Remember, he caught all the High Templar. 0 storms. 0 storms with the main army. Lurkers popping up. Massive smash just going off as well, but there is detection. There's the Observer. Still not an easy fight here for SKillous. Takes a lot of spine shots to the face. Immortal goes down. Decent fight here from Yakov. But he did lose 4 Lurkers in the process. Lurker range being researched, and we need more Lurkers. Lurker count nowhere it needs to be, down to 4. Meanwhile, once again, another Zealot drop into the main. Yakov moves out. SKillous from behind. This time he's got Storm. And that's why we need more Lurkers here. But alas, Yakov is out of gas. He's out of resources. He's broke. He has, oh my god, he has almost 0 gas income. Zelsa drop into the main. Tries to take the gold. Zelsa here as well. Yakov being pulled out of position. Racing back home to defend. That's going to be 5 dead workers. Main base under fire. Hatchery barely survives. And the fourth base. What about the fourth? He's going for it. Jakob, he's not where he needs to be. He's protecting the gold. He repositioned to protect the gold base, which means the fourth base is completely exposed. This base, it's gonna go down. There's no saving it. He tries to rotate. Storms here. They collapse on the Hydras. Oh, the storms are brutal. He stands in the storms. The boys are being pulled into Archons as well. The final fight here as everything falls, everything crumbles. The army melts, and SKillous, he does it. He breaks through. 20-minute game, but it was a crazy, just all in after all in. There was no economy. GG gets called, and SKillous, he will take the series 3-1, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. A crazy game, very back and forth. There were moments for young Yakov, moments for SKillous as well. That could have gone either way. I still bring it back. If you remember that moment when young Yakov, when he moved out, when he caught 4 High Templar in the center of the map, killed the High Templar, he was like up, what, 30-40 supply, pushed towards the natural. But if you remember, the lurkers, they were lagging behind, and they got stuck. The lurkers, they got trapped at the mineral wall, if you remember. And with that, young Yakov, he fought without his lurkers. He lost all the Hydras, then he lost all the lurkers after that as well, and he never took a fourth base. There were moments where he could have expanded, but young Yakov, he was hyper fixated, he was tunnel visioning, he forgot about expanding, he never got his fourth base, and SKillous made sure that that never became a factor. He never got his economy. GG. GG, well played. Oh my god. GG, well played. Congratulations here. SKillous will take the series. SKillous will advance on. Well played here. Again, that could have gone, or I mean, again, that was just a scrappy game. That was crazy. There's a world out there where we get an ace match, where we could have had an ace match here between young Yakov and SKillous, but with that, GG. GG. And that wraps up our final best of 5 of the night. Does wrap up our final best of 5 here. We do wrap it up. We have Cure. Cure takes down Creator 3-2. Again, that also went to the ace match. That could have gone either way. We had Cure advancing on. We had Shameless taking down Homono 3-1. We had Wayne taking down Classic, and SKillous taking down young Yakov. GG. GG, well played. Also, my apologies, I think it happened in the middle of the game, but there was just so much chaos going on. A big shout out to JPP1 in the chat, and of course I would also give a shout out to Hero to Zero. But thank you so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime for 4 months. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thanks so much for the support. We do appreciate it, and hope you enjoy the casting, hope you enjoy the content, hope you enjoy the StarCraft as we wrap up with this morning's broadcast. What do I mean by that? Bearing in mind this is only day 1 of the OSC Season 12 Championship. We are going to be covering day 2 tomorrow as we have a look here at the schedule. Bam! You can see here, this was Thursday morning. Thursday morning we just wrapped up with the OSC broadcast. In how many hours time? In not too long, actually, in 5.5 hours. In 5.5 hours, we're going to be live with the Pondcast. If you're curious, what is the Pondcast? That is our weekly talk show where we go over all the results of the week, all the results in StarCraft, all the news, all the content as well. So again, it is our kind of weekly wrap-up show here of StarCraft 2. Every single week we have the Pondcast. We did take some time off during Christmas and during New Year's, but now we are back. So we have the Pondcast in 5.5 hours. After that, 3 hours after that, we have the Masters Coliseum playoffs. They continue here. This week we have 4 days, or I should say 4 broadcasts of Masters Coliseum. Thursday, Friday, 2 on Sunday as well. And we also have the House of Galactic Battle on Saturday, alongside all this other StarCraft, all this content. We actually have 3 casts on Sunday. It's back-to-back Masters Coliseum into OSC King of the Hill. It's a long week. It's a long, intense week of content of StarCraft, as always here on the CranKy Ducklings. So if you enjoy, then consider following. Consider following us here on Twitch, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. All things CranKy Ducklings. We're all over the place. Mastodon, Blue Sky. I got you, here we go, ! socials for all those links. If you are interested, you can follow us. We post whenever we go live, and we also post other things as well related to StarCraft. If you wish, you can join us on Discord. You can interact with us outside of just the stream. And again, our next cast is in 5.5 hours. I'm most likely going to quickly get a bite to eat and then go and sleep. I'm going to go and get some rest, going to go sleep, and wake up in time for the Pondcast, and then Masters Coliseum thereafter. So back to back, cast after cast after cast. Let's go. Let us go. When it comes to the Season 12 Championship broadcast tomorrow, I believe we're going to be following our players. I believe we're going to be following the players that just made it through into their respective next rounds. Quickly double checking here. Tomorrow's matches are going to be, we saw Shameless advance on. It's going to be Clem versus Shameless in a TVP. It's going to be Christiana versus Wayne, Nickrat versus Skillous, and Nightmare versus Cure. So Cure, Skillous, Wayne, and Shameless, they advance on today to face off in the next round against their next set of opponents in Nightmare, Nickrat, Christiana, and Clem. Oh boy. So more TVPs. That's 3 more TVPs and 1 PVZ. Let's go. So do look forward to that. It's going to be tomorrow, of course, here on the CranKy Ducklings. Otherwise, hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time. If you want us to help support us in another way, you can support us monetarily. You can see here our Patreon, !Patreon in the chat. You can see just under the schedule, our Patreon is designed to fund our tournaments. We do host events on a regular basis. This month, our events are on hiatus. I will say that. They have been on hiatus here in the month of January because of how stacked the schedule is. The reality is we have no time to slot in our broadcasts or our tournaments because there's just so much more going on with Little League Cup, with Masters Coliseum, with the Galactic Battle, with OSC Season 12 Championship. There's just so much content alongside the regular weekly tournaments that because of that, we have put our events on hiatus for the month of January, and we're coming back at the end of January. That is the plan. Is going to be the plan here in like 2 weeks. Like 2 weeks, we're all coming back. So yeah, you can help support us on Patreon if you wish to help fund our tournaments and help grow our events as well. Otherwise, thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. Rowdy, the grind. It's all, we're always on the grind, Poppy. Always casting, always on the grind. Always. Let's go. Let's go. Good to see you, Rowdy. Good to see you. I see Elephant as well. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos. But with that, we're wrapping up. With that, we are wrapping up here for the time being. Oh my god. I'm going to try and force myself to sleep, and we'll see you guys in 5.5 hours time, and likewise either tomorrow if you're going to be asleep, as I know in the Americas it's getting quite late. If you're going to be asleep, then we'll see you tomorrow for day number 2 of the OSC Championship, or we'll see you later tonight for Masters Coliseum. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. You can also follow me on my own personal channel. You can click on my link on Twitch on the title of the stream. But as you can see, I sometimes stream ladder or stream other games, but specifically the month of January, because we're casting so much, and when I'm not casting, I'm editing VODs. And I'm uploading VODs to YouTube, and I'm making thumbnails and posting on Twitter and posting on Instagram and posting on TikTok. And when I'm not casting, I'm still working in other ways, so I just don't have time to stream at the moment. But February, I should have some time to have some ladder sessions or play some other games, play some Final Fantasy or of the sort. So if you're curious, you can follow me on my own personal channel. Otherwise, follow us here on the CranKy Ducklings for all the StarCraft. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.